Hello. Congratulations, Danielle. Oh, you're the best friend, Danielle.
That I ever had. Been with you such a long time. You're my sunshine.
And we have ads because ads are a thing. How are you, Ba? Nice to see you, Token. I appreciate all of you that show up right at the beginning. I know not everybody can. My kids are finally back at school. They were out of school for literally a whole week. Hey, Robot Wizard, welcome in. Hello, Midnight. How's it going? What's going on today? Let's see. A whole lot of nonsense with a sprinkle of shenanigans and probably a dash of chaos. We might very well even detect some subtle hints of mayhem. Really, Robot Wizard? Really? Yes. A smattering of rioting. Look, I would try to lie. Hello, Dinwashi. I would try to lie and say that I don't, and be like, oh, whatever shall I do? Chaos. Oh, no. But I am horrible, and I incite it everywhere else. I love it. Just getting your mayhem out of the way. Hi, Smokey. Welcome in. How are you? I completely missed Porygon Day. I even bought the ticket, Smokey. No! Pirate. I may hem, or I may just leave the pants the same length. About 15 seconds left on the ads, the pre-rolls. Thank you for sitting through pre-rolls. If you don't have a subscription, I do appreciate it.
Chicken attack!
Yes, Brian. Chicken attack indeed. Dinwashi, how are you doing? How's the family? Hi, Ian. Welcome in. Ads are over. Maybe I should turn my cameras on. I just realized my cameras are not on yet. Maybe I should turn on the cameras. It's fine. We took the dogs for a walk at the park, so I just got home from that a minute ago. Thanks for being here, everybody. Welcome in. Today, not so great. Oh, no. Oh, no. You think you have oh, no. Oh, really? Happy birthday to your little one. That is amazing. How is that possible? You do not have a 2-year-old. Happy birthday to the little. Yeah, but I just haven't had time for Pokemon Go like I would like to be able to play it. I could have played it while we were at the park, but I was there with my husband and I felt like it would be it's one thing if like the kids are playing on the playground and I'm just sitting there and I'm spinning Pokestops and having a grand old time collecting gifts and all that stuff. But we don't get a lot of time to ourselves, just me and him. And we were walking and I was like, I am putting my phone away and having a conversation with my spouse. So I will try to get to opening. I have a lot of unopened gifts in Pokemon Go, but it's not a high priority for me right now. I'm mad because they don't let us remote raid indefinitely now. Infinitely. You're limited, and remote raid passes went up in price. No, yeah, I know that's just a friendly reminder. I know you're not like, hey, lady, open your Pokemon Go right now. I do love Pokemon Go. I do. I wish I had more time for it. What's up, Canvas Monsters? How you doing, Mike? I hope you get that resolved quickly, Dinwashi. I hate having sinus or like congestion. No bueno. But I'm glad everybody's doing well. RC, I don't know what that means. Am I in luck this morning? I have no idea. You tell me, RC. Am I? I don't know. What's going on? I did drink the water for your hydrate spa. I do have water, not very much, but I also asked Hubs to pick up a bunch of bubbly waters. So when it's time, I'll go up and I'll get one from the fridge, and I have a lot of yummy flavors right now. I have black cherry, I definitely have coffee down here. I have black cherry, pineapple. The pineapple flavor is really good. And cucumber melon. I do love the LaCroix limoncello, but I'm trying to budget better with the groceries. So it's just it's just the Safeway store brand. No, I don't think I've tried that. Dinwashi. Robot Wizard. I couldn't hang out for very long. There was just too much going on in my house.
Ooh,
no!
piece of candy. Ooh.
I was about to ask you a question.
Do you feel lucky, Bok? Well, do you, Bok?
Thank you for the bits, Robot Wizard. I'm so glad I enabled the pirate voice because I can tell that you really enjoy using it, and I too am a fan. Thank you, Robot Wizard. Thank you so much. I popped into Jang's channel. I actually took a screenshot on my phone of his face because of the thumbnail, because I could tell something was happening. And I popped in for a minute and I kind of caught what was going on. It seems like, and he posted to Twitter too. It seems like there was some really generous charity support, and he wasn't even doing like I know these feels. I'm so happy for him, and he really does a lot, and he would be mad if he knew I was talking about him, and I don't care. I do care. I don't want people to be mad, but I'm saying, like, it's really lovely to see people like him getting broken in all the best ways possible. And I couldn't talk because there was just too much going on in my house. I was going to ask what happened, but then I think I caught on to what it was. No, not done. No, not done, Ba. Not done. Fartgar. We've been working on it. My office is still just such a disaster. Every time I start getting it under control, I start another project. But, you know, he really does a lot of good for people. He has a persistent Stand Up to Cancer Told to Fight campaign, and some chatters really went wild with support of him and the charity. Over 1,000 to the charity out of the blue. We've had stuff like that happen here where I don't even have alerts. And I had to make sure to set them up so that you can't stealth contribute. Because, I mean, and I do understand some people like that. Well, there's anonymous, and there's also doing it when the person is not live. You know, and I understand. I do get it. Some people, it's like, I don't want the recognition. I don't need credit. I don't want accolades or, you know, for you to fuss over me. I just want to help. And I completely understand that. But I also love being able, for us, we do like to be able to thank the individual who did it if they're comfortable being, you know, identified by a username or whatever. You can also not put your name on it. Yeah, exactly. There's all kinds of ways that you can go about supporting this stuff too that don't necessarily involve direct contributions of funds. You know, if somebody does say like have a persistent Stand Up to Cancer campaign, whatever the charity is, right? And you know somebody who already knows about that charity and likes contributing to it. You can say, hey, my friend has a fundraiser for this charity. You know, be careful with that stuff. We don't ever want to seem like we're demanding that someone do something. But if they've indicated that they'd like to support something like that, you know, or sharing it on your socials just as an open invitation for somebody, you know, if you'd like to, you could contribute to my friend's fundraiser for cancer research, or helping women in broadcasting and gaming and esports. You know, there's all kinds of stuff like that you can do that doesn't necessarily have to involve contribution. You know, because I know sometimes people feel badly that they can't do financial stuff. That doesn't mean that you're not helping. Just by being in their channels too, you know, because that puts more eyeballs. We don't want to worry about the numbers constantly, but more eyeballs equals better when it comes to the charity stuff, especially. I don't even know what I'm doing today. I'm so behind on so many things. And so then, of course, you know, I randomly made this heart while I was live on TikTok. Put the money in the charity bag. Yeah. No, I know for myself, I'm just so appreciative of people even coming to hang out with me. Yes. You know, that said, you don't have to go overboard apologizing for not being able to do stuff financially. Because, like, we know that it's in your heart. And especially if you're there in the channel, we know that you would if you could. Or, you know, maybe you already do some charitable stuff. Maybe you have somewhere where you are already devoting those funds. You know, that's totally understandable. And people should not feel like they have to explain themselves. You know what I mean? But anyways, that was awesome. I was glad I popped in for even just a second to witness that for just a moment, because I have respect and admiration for him, genuinely. And I think he works very hard, and he deserves support. And it's awesome when people are doing both. And I know that for some of us, if we're doing charity stuff, that's very in the fore, you know, FORE. We want people to focus on that, to have people go out of their way to support the channel. And then even when we're not doing something that is here is what we are doing today. And like I said, I know from experience, about a year ago, you guys did it behind my back for my birthday. And it was, I've had some really great birthdays, and I will just say this. It was the best birthday surprise that anyone has ever given me in my whole life. And I'm getting misty just thinking about it. And I am to this day, I am still so grateful for you guys. I hope that you feel that. It's a great concern of mine, making sure that people feel like, wow, she really does understand and appreciate. Because the last thing I would ever want is for anyone to feel like I take this stuff for granted, or it's expected, or that there's pressure to do it. The fact that you would do that of your own volition, that you would organize something like that behind the scenes. All of the very good feels, Collab stream with Art and Jess was hilarious. The two of you feed off of each other. Yes. If Brenda and I had attended school concurrently, we would never have been allowed to sit next to each other in any classroom. Unless the teacher was ultra cool. Maybe in theater class. Brenda is a gem. Also a person who I have deep respect and admiration for, who is very good at what she does. Motivates people, excites them, puts smiles on their faces, does awesome art, and has a great time while she's doing it. And I think, people could learn a lot from her, but also just witnessing her happy, positive energy and how well she manages to... It's her tagline is extremely accurate. I make things and I make things happen. It is totally true. 1000%. It has been fact checked. and in a way, for me, I have a hard time sometimes when someone approaches me to remind me that we have plans. I can sometimes feel like they're going, hey, you forgot about me and you're not doing enough, which is probably, ADHD, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Because I have a background sort of sense of guilt of not being on top of my stuff enough. And I didn't feel that at all, but she still managed to effectively guide me toward, and that's not to say that she did all the work or anything like that. But she does. I think she has more experience with coordinating stuff like that. And we're both very kind of chaotic, wild energy type people. But I think she has more experience with collabs of that sort and everything. And collaboration for me is difficult because of the lack of organization. And I panic that I am not going to be properly prepared and the person's not going to want to collaborate with me ever again. They're going to be like, she was a disaster. I mean, I'm just being very transparent right now. I'm not trying to dump on you guys. All I'm saying is these are things that go through my mind. And then I go, get out of here. Negative self-talk. I get over it. This is what you have to be able to do, is to have those thoughts and those feelings. And I've said this many times, but I'll say it again because there might be someone who hasn't heard me say it. You have those thoughts, and then you have to learn to process them and shove them out of the way and say, I will not let you stop me from doing these things that I want to do. And having a great time with my friends who are fellow content creators, or whatever it is, the thing that you want to do. I'm going to do it anyways. I'll show you. Because that voice, it can be very strong. The self-doubt is a very real thing. And I'm here to tell you, if you just, yes, both of those things that you just said, you can recognize them, process, and then reframe. You have those thoughts. How you act on them is what matters. Same thing when you have a negative thought about somebody that's a prejudgment of them, right? That you had that thought does not make you a bad person. What happens next, right? What happens next is important. So, turning it around to figure it out, to be able to move forward is really the most important thing. Self-doubt, sheesh, demolishes all progress. Been there. And it's hard, right, Mike? Especially, okay, one thing that I think is harder than a lot of people realize and that we don't talk about enough is when you have had some measure of success, whatever that means, right? Maybe you had one video that blew up and you got a lot of followers from it. I saw a video in my Instagram feed where the person was talking about this. They made a video and it got 7 million views. And previous to that, they did not have, you know, like a massive following. And they gained an insane amount of followers very quickly. And then their percentage of engagement absolutely tanked. And now every day they're losing followers because a lot of that was just this inflation from going viral. And I love that they're talking about this because people perceive that if you have a video that blows up or whatever, then you've got it made. Like the lady who made up the Bernie Sanders crochet pattern, Toby Time Crochet, who I still follow and love her videos and love her attitude and think she's just super cool and engage with her content because I like her. And I just wonder, like, you know, a lot of people bought that pattern. I bought it. And I never did finish a single doll because I felt like, oh, everyone's making this doll now. It got popular way too fast. And there's no way I'm going to be able to compete with some of these prices. And these pieces are intricate and they involve a lot of parts. And I might make one for myself. Actually, there's somebody who I need to make one for. That just reminded me, who wanted one. And this whole thing happened. And they were like, oh, here, I'm going to prepay you for it with a tip through Stream Elements. And I was like, oh, no, please don't do that because I was going to refund them their money. And then they insisted that I keep the money just as a tip. And I was like, no, but they insisted and they're my friend and I knew they meant it. But then I had planned to just make the thing and send it to them anyways and not even ask them for any more money because I love them. And actually I do need to send them something separate from that. But you know, it was hard because I felt like, again, sometimes what it feels like is you cannot possibly be fast enough. There's no time. You just have to be so fast with everything. So on top of everything. So constantly searching for what's the next trend. And I just won't trend chase like that. It's too stressful. Having a video blow up is a blessing and a curse. You're either a creator and ready to keep making stuff, or it was a one-off moment, and you're now pressured to replicate that lightning in a bottle. Yes. So that's the thing, right? I think this person has a healthy attitude because they were already consistently creating content. And so they're basically just sort of trying to help people understand, like, this phenomenon of going viral or blowing up overnight or whatever, unless you are, like you said, Mike, poised to take advantage of it in a way that is extremely practiced, right? You don't get there without some hard work up front. It's very rare that is going to, like, that trajectory is going to continue upwards, and certainly not at that same rate. You know, most of the time it's going to be like you're going like this and woo, right? And then it's going to be and plateau a bit. Or maybe even go down a little bit. So it's important not to attach too much meaning to that or to attach self-worth to it, because if you do, it's going to be really hard. Hey, Creatrix Brit, what's up? How are you? Hi, Nothing More Variant. What's going on? How are you today? Oh, absolutely. There's people whose content I've interacted with for weeks on end. Mike, I'm subscribed to their channel. I enjoy what they do. And I'm interacting with it. And then it'll just disappear from my feed. We don't have control over it as viewers either. You know, it's very, very disconcerting. We're kind of talking about, Raiders. Thank you so much, Raiders. Welcome in. We're kind of talking about how the algorithm and these phenomena of going viral and other things like that can sometimes be difficult for us to navigate as creators. And I'm sure you probably felt that yourself if you are a fellow broadcaster. What were you up to on stream? Just talking about me. I'm awesome and I saved your... What? These are bold claims. I'm not even sure if I know what you're talking about. What are you talking about? What project did I save? Do you have pictures? Dave of Things, thank you so much for the follow. These are our raiding parties from the last stream. Wiffle Possum raided us yesterday while we were playing some Fortnite. I do play some games. Mostly I crochet. Welcome, raiders. If You have never been here before. It's time. You have words. Oh, God. I'm called 9.5 because I'm missing half a finger on my right hand. Thank you very much for the raid, Britt. I really appreciate it. You had a little... Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, my God. See, brain. Brain is not braining. Oh, that is so awesome. Nothing more variant. That is amazing. Yeah, no, and that's hard if you wake up feeling that way. And then, you know, but we were just talking about this, nothing more variant. The important part is, oh, I'm having these feelings, recognizing when you're having those feelings and going like, okay, how do I get through this? And sometimes it works right away and other times it doesn't. Hey, Riri, how are you? So welcome in, readers. Thank you so much for joining us. Britt, did you, so were you working on that today or what were you doing on stream? Please, everybody, make sure that you give Britt a follow. And Miro must be on the afternoon shift this week. Give Britt a follow. High Impact. You're playing Power Wash Sim and cuddling with one of your kitties. Oh, that sounds delightful. False. It is because I am almost perfect. Oh, my God. Coffee and 3D printing chat. Excellent.
Another
no, what
one.
are you doing? Dinwashi, you sweetheart. Thank you so much for doing that.
Creatrix_Brit. They have given 2 gift subs in the channel.
Thank you, Dinwashi, for gifting a tier 1 sub to Britt. Enjoy the emotes, the ad-free viewing, all that. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. RC says, I have work. What is going on, RC? You're killing me. You're killing me here, RC. I love this emote of the squirrel dance. That is so cute. That is adorable. Ride the roller coaster. Thank you very much. All right, and then we need to do... You always have words. Okay, good. All right. I'm like, you have words. You have like, we need to have words. Did I do something to upset you? I don't understand. Where is the message? How does Miro do everything so fast? Here, I found it. Thank you so much for being our first raid of the day. If you would like to and you have time, I don't want you to feel like I'm keeping you, because if you need to raid and run, I completely understand. Bots be botting. You get to pick my pair eyewear toppers, Britt. So these come right off. Those are the Batgirl toppers. That's one of my daughter's favorite comic book characters. So I bought that one. There's a bunch of DC and Marvel stuff at paireyewear.com. We do need to do the raid video, but I want to see if Creatrix Britt wants to pick my toppers. Some people have suggested that it would be cool to 3D print these. You know, I mean, I could maybe be talked into being a guinea pig for that. And it's your fault, RC, you and Ian, that all this cookie cat stuff keeps coming into my feed. And it's sparkly and it's pretty. This is Purple Sparkle. Then there's 8-bit Hearts, Buffalo Plaid, Skulls and Roses, Rainbow Knit. Yeah. Yes, NMB. Party Chicks. Ha ha ha. Leopard print. Cheetah print. Pumpkin Pin Dot. Arcade Maze, which is Wish Pac-Man. Coffee Beans, because I love coffee. Pop Art. So my husband and I own a comic book, graphic novel, manga, trading card, and tabletop role-playing game shop. A nerd shop, if you will. No video games, but all the other games and cards and books, nerd stuff in St. Helens, Oregon, called Pantheon Comics and Games. And so I got these because I thought that was pretty cool. And he says, you know, that I like a bunch of hipster garbage, but I don't care. This is why we're married, because I can handle him.
This is a nerd alert.
No, you are not allowed. You get listen, get refunded. You're not allowed to nerd alert me. We do not nerd. That's Mora More. Please follow our friend Mora More. Guess what? Every time that you guys do that, every time that you guys do a nerd alert for me, I'm just going to shout out Mora More. Okay? That's what's going to happen. Or someone else I feel like shouting out. Another sparkle. This one is the irises from the Van Gogh collection. Mint sparkle and cats and yarn. So whatever you would like for it. You want mint sparkle or purple sparkle? I love them both, please. I have no preference. It's your preference. So, mint sparkle. Excellent. Pear eyewear is actually quite affordable, all things considered. The base pair you can usually get for around $55 with some discounts. Someone told me that code wasn't working, the 9PT510 code. And I emailed them, and this just made me realize I'm not sure if they ever emailed me back. Oh, no, I remember what happened. The person I was communicating with, the email bounced back to me. And then I emailed another person, and they never emailed me back. Interesting. Anyway, maybe someone could check that for me if they do decide they're going to I might have to have my husband throw some stuff in a cart and try to use the code just to see if it works. So if you have your prescription, you can just give it to them and they'll go ahead. If you have it scanned or whatever, you can just give it to them and they'll go ahead and produce them right away. That's the easiest and fastest way. I think you can also put in your doctor's information and they can obtain the prescription. But yeah, it's awesome. I enjoy it. And I have another friend too who's also offered to do custom of these. So it's something you could consider doing if you have a 3D printer. I have no idea but have you already done it, Dinwashi? I thought you had ordered them already. Maybe you haven't. I can't remember. So they just have these little magnets right here. So you just have to figure out how to be able to put, a little indentation in the back of them and place the magnet here so that they'll pop right onto your frame. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if somebody has the time to test it for me, because someone else had said that it wasn't working. You're supposed to get 10% off your first order. These companies too, they change hands sometimes and things change. So I crochet. I made, I'm not sure if I want this to be a banana cow. I think what it could be, this could be a lemon cookie cow because this pattern comes with a, instructions for making a little cookie bag. A lemon shortbread cow. I don't know. Banana cream pie cow. It was supposed to be a banana cow and I decided to give it brown feet and hands. It's a pay for pattern. If you're a crocheter, I can certainly get you the pattern link to buy it from their Ko-fi. I'm making a life-size Gengar for whatever reason. Hey, Puzzled, welcome in. It doesn't work. I'll have to contact them again. That's it there. My office is a mess. Just ignore. Ignore this doom pile. It's fine. I promise. This isn't even the half of it. But I have been crocheting since I was 7. I taught myself to knit in my 20s. I also used to cross stitch when I was a kid, and I just recently picked that back up. I love crafts. I love playing with string and yarn and making things. And I have always loved making things. I started streaming 5 years ago. Had no idea that there were people doing this type of stuff on Twitch. I started out streaming Fortnite from our PS4, of all things. I was terrible at Fortnite. I'm still only passable, but I do enjoy it. And I played a lot of video games with my sister growing up, but then when I found music and theater, I didn't have time for that stuff. So I'm actually really glad because sharing a love of certain video games and trying out new ones has helped me forge new friendships with people. And I think that gaming can be a really powerful force for that when it's used appropriately You know, there's a really wholesome and fun element to sharing a love of games, whether they're co-op games or not, even if it's a single player game, just having something in common with other people. And also there's a lot of creativity that goes into making games. Speaking of, you guys, I am not being in any way, shape, or form rewarded to tell you about this. I found this a while back. I actually messaged them about it. You might have seen my latest reel on Instagram. I literally got choked up watching some of these previews and these behind the scenes videos for this new game that's going to come out that's called Feltopia. And if you've seen those really cool videos where the person, it looks like they're cooking and they're using felt, that person who made all those videos is making a video game. A stop motion animated felted video game. Like, all of my interests are coming crashing together. And there's a Kickstarter. I am so excited for this. It's the coolest thing. This is one of those examples of, you know, when people try to naysay, you know, video games and online communities and all that stuff. I'm like, yeah, sure, there's a bunch of garbage out there. There's garbage people, newsflash, unfortunately. Please, for the love, let me find out if feltopiagame.com. Hold on. Right? We don't want to let those people win and not be open to the possibilities like something like this. I'm so excited for this. I made the reel and I put, you know, hey, where do I sign up for my A Video Game Teaser Made Me Cry Tears of Joy Club card? You know, I've seen people get emotional about video games coming out. Like if there's a new video game coming out of a franchise that they are really, really, you know, fond of, stuff like that. Here, I'm going to pull this up on the screen. I really want to show this to you guys. If you have the funds to invest in something like this, because it sounds like something really cool that you'd like to be able to try, I mean, by all means. I have no relationship, personal or otherwise, with this company or these people. I just really think this is cool. Like, she's definitely the real deal. Look at all this stuff in the background, you know? Like, it's really cool. Known for her brain-scratching reels and felted kitchen videos, Andrea Love has been looking for a way to give audiences a way to directly engage, shape, and linger in the joy of a needle-felted world. Now, she joins forces with the experienced game developer Andy Katsakapis and a team of renowned sound, music, and artistic professionals to create the world's first felted stop-motion video game. I'm like, I'm sorry. I know! I'm like, can I have it now? Do you need people to test this game? Please consider me. Gib Game. Here we see a flock of ravers or hardcore break. What is this word that you put in my chat? I can't read that. NMV. Break betensis. In their natural environment, shh, be very quiet. We don't want to interrupt their fertility dance. Look, some of them are displaying their extra wide pants, which they use to attract mates. How cool is this? Like, please. We are welcoming donations of any size to help us get this game out in the world. Oh. Go here. Go Feltopia game. Please go do this. Please. 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 I beg of you. Click that link and follow the account. Comment on the posts. It is so cool. I am beyond excited for this. Wait, what does this say? I wonder where are they? They're not located. That looks like, for some reason, I feel like that looks like a familiar building. Are they located in Portland? They actually had to cancel the previous fundraiser and they're doing a new one now, I believe. I'm telling you, this is so cool. Wait, no, I didn't mean to do that. You want to call me an influencer? Fine. Fine. I am influencing you to influence them to make this game. Please. I need it. SpongeBob voice. I need it. So heckin' cool. Gimme. This is the one that made me cry. The freaking music. Yeah. Yes, because it's more like sculpting it like you would a clay almost. Nothing more variant. Yes. So cool. Look at that. Oh, man. So magical. I love it. And I don't know if any of you have watched Pokemon Concierge, but I noticed that the Pokemon...
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there.
Look like they're felt.
My name is Andrea Love, and I'm a felt animator and director.
Is this too loud?
I've spent the last 10 years bringing wool to life using stop-motion
Tell
animation.
me if it's too loud.
My work utilizes texture, illusion, and scale to transport people into places that feel very real, but also impossible and fantastical. However, I've always wanted to be able to immerse people even more in a wool world and let them explore and interact with it for longer than the length of a short film or reel.
So freaking cool.
And what better way to do that than a video game? Oh,
Give
hi.
me the
I
game.
didn't see you there. My name is...
Give me the game. No, take your time, actually. Make a cool game. And when it's ready, I just really, really, really want to play it. It is literally all of the things together. And it makes me so happy to see somebody doing something like this. It really does, you know? No, you. And you gotta stop it. When I'm in your channel, you have to stop putting on the brakes and stopping everything you're doing to gush unrelentingly about me, because I start to get uncomfortable. I love you. You're so amazing. I really appreciate it. You don't have to do that. Fine. I appreciate you so much. I don't come in there for that. I hope you know that. I come there because I enjoy hanging out with you. I was bummed that I came in at the end, but that's okay. And I thought about trying to start a bunch of shenanigans to keep you, but then you said you were going to go have dinner with your wife, and I was like, oh, absolutely not. I just can't tell you how much I appreciate you. You don't have to do that every time I'm there, but I understand. I'm so excited for this. You guys have no idea. This makes me so happy. So I actually had sent a message saying like, please, please. Honestly, like you don't understand. This is so perfect for me, for my community. I would love when you're ready to test this game for you, to show it off in front of my audience. I just can't wait for something like this. It is so cool. And then right after that, I was like, no. They posted the thing about, hey, we're putting the brakes on for now. So I'm so, so happy. I was like, oh no, I hope that doesn't mean they're just going to give up on this. I'm so, so happy and so excited that it looks like they're working on it again. So please, I'm telling you, like if I had all the monies, I would just be like, how much do you need? What's the number? Give me a number and I will make it happen. Dimwashi, I hope you feel better, friend. Have a great rest of your day. Love on that little one and enjoy I don't think 2 was as bad, anywhere near as bad as 3, personally. I mean, and 3 was great too. It had lots of wonderful things about kids being 3 years old. Three is a really fun and magical age too, but it's also, the joke is three-nager. They become three-nagers. 2 has its challenges. Newborns have their challenges. I have a 13-year-old. We have lots of challenges. There's always challenges. I think 2 was actually a lot of fun because we're becoming more conversational, and it's just really fun to watch them. Hello, Leslie. It's really fun to watch them really begin to explore how to communicate verbally. Most kids. Some kids, it takes a little longer than that. But typically around that age is when we're really starting to show a lot of personality and a lot of talking and a lot of that really fun just sort of discovery of the environment still happening. And we should try to retain more of that into our older childhood, our young adulthood, our whole lives, because it really is it's pretty magical to witness, and I'm happy for you that you get to be in that spot right now. And it can be hard sometimes because it can be stressful with kids. There's a lot going on, and there's a lot of responsibility and a lot of things you have to take care of, and a lot. It's just a lot. It can be exhausting. I have to remind myself too all the time to be present in the moment and enjoy it as much as I can. That said, when you see a parent struggling, my advice to you is not to try to remind them to enjoy that moment if they're really struggling. Like we're talking their kids having a horrible meltdown in the grocery store. Don't stop them to tell them they'll miss this when the kids are older. You mean well, but that's not what they hear. They hear, how dare you take your children for granted, right? The best thing you can do, honestly, is to offer help or to try to distract the kid. Strangers distracting a child breaks. Yes. Hey, is there any way that I could help you? They might say no, but they'll be happy you offered. Just ask if they need help. I carried stickers in my server book when I was a wait person. When I waited tables, I carried stickers in my server book. And if a kid was having a really hard time, I would ask them, I'd be like, hey, can you do something for me? And they'd be like, yeah. They just stop. They're like, what? The person is asking me to do something. I'd be like, hey, can you take your fork and your knife and you put it back on the napkin where it was on the table and show me how you set a table? And they would do it. And then I'd be like, wow, awesome. job. You're so great. Are you looking for work? And I'd high five them. And then I'd be like, here, would you like a sticker? All of a sudden, whatever was happening before is gone. They've been successfully redirected. And the parents would be like, and I'd be like, yeah, it takes the person on the outside sometimes who they're not emotionally bonded to, is a new person, a new face, to distract them and push them out of that space. Sometimes it wouldn't work at all, and that's okay. Some kids are shy. They don't want to talk to strangers. I wouldn't push it if the child seemed like they weren't having it, but it worked most of the time. When you were in retail, you had stickers that would go on large items to show they paid for it, and you'd give them to kids that were upset to calm them down. Yes, everyone loves stickers. I have magnets on the way. People love magnets. They love stickers. They love fun, shiny, random objects. We're like crows. And we love to give and receive gifts. So you never, people, they really do mean well. And they're sharing their experience with you. So I recognize that, and I always try to take it that way. But it's very hard when you're in the moment of having a child, like for any parent, but, special needs parents, and people mean well and they're trying, but it is not helpful when someone is in the midst of a crisis with their family member or friend, and you are like basically telling them this moment where you are so overwhelmed it's great. You should love it. It feels the opposite sometimes. So I've learned over the years, because I've waited tables so much and interacted with the public so much, people really do mean well. They're not trying to shame you. Sometimes when you meet kids in the grocery store who are freaking out, you just take a second to affirm them. Yeah, that too. The grocery store can be a lot, huh? Yes, we do have ads. Thank you, Karen. I love you, Karen. Oh yeah, I feel that, buddy. Yes. And being seen by somebody, especially someone who's not a family member, it sometimes breaks that bubble of tension and stress. And they go, whoo! And they can just let it go. And it dissipates. So it's hard. I understand. I know. And it's older folks usually who are reminiscing about the times that they had their kids. And I understand you miss them. I mean, gosh, my daughter just went for her first sleepover ever. And while I was super excited for her, and it's kind of a relief in a way to have the littlest one out of the house, only because, she's the one most likely to get into things. And, because of her age, do stuff that she probably ought not to. She needs a little bit closer supervision than the older two, right? There's a sigh of relief part of it, and that she's out doing something fun. I was happy for her because she was so excited about it. But it was weird. And I was really ready for her to come home. A lot of kids are also just bored and want or need something to do / distract them. Small things like talking to them or giving them a sticker or a coloring sheet and some crayons or markers. Or I had little puzzles that are the little sliding piece puzzles and stuff like that. Really anything can often do that. Yes. And I just also really tried hard not to ever make any assumptions on behalf of the family when they were having a hard time. You never know what was going on earlier that day. And they would be like, thank you so much for being patient and kind. And I'd be like, well, it's how I would want someone to treat me if I were in the same situation. And here I go again. I don't know what's going on with me today. It's your fault, Philtopia. You got me all mushy and in my feels. Seriously, I'm very excited for this. I think it's very cool that somebody is doing something tactile, and that takes a long time. Something like this video game, it is a labor of love. It is not happening overnight. First of all, the person had to learn the skills to do this. And then on top of that, stop motion, even if you use if you're assisted by computers with some of it, etc., it's a really painstaking process. And I think it's just so incredibly cool that someone is willing to devote their time and their talents to a project like this. So I am very, very excited about it. Again, not being asked, compensated, or otherwise in any way influenced to talk about it other than from my own genuine excitement, because I think this is such a cool idea. And I wish that there was more of that in our space. I completely understand and have done it myself. Played a game on stream, done something on stream because I was paid to do so. I don't have anything against that. But I think that there is something to just the organic discovery of something on your own and your excitement for it that comes through when you promote something just because you feel like it, or someone. So while I understand that for some people that's how they make their living, you know, is, hey, this company paid me to talk about their products or to use them. Product placement is a thing in our space. And maybe it so happens that they also really think it's a good quality product. Those two things are not mutually exclusive, but word of mouth is powerful. And if y'all think this is cool and you want to share it, I know they would love that. I'm sure they would love it. I have no ulterior motive other than to get my hands on this game and to support someone else who I think is doing something really cool. You know, I just think it's amazing. I'm so excited for it. I can't wait. But I'll have to, because they're taking their time with it, and as they should. Yes, a stop motion felted video game. I just want to play it. I really just want to play it, you know? Yeah, and again, I mean, I am like, I wish I was made of money. And we talk about it because you shared it. Is that word of mouth? Word of mouth! NMV. NMV, I appreciate you. I very much appreciate you, NMV. I don't even know what to do now. I have an idea. This is going to be very freeing, and you're going to panic, and you're going to be like, but why? I don't like this sweater. And I'm going to frog it because I don't like it. Daily checklist. Made 9 roll her eyes. Yeah, I'm going to frog it because I don't think that I knew what I was doing. I was like freehanding a granny square cardigan and I just don't like it. And I could use the yarn for a lot of other things. I actually kind of like it, Aelith. I kind of like it. I kind of like ripping projects apart. There's something very zen about it. It's like, you know what? This wasn't working out. I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to get rid of it. And I'm not getting rid of it because these materials will still be completely usable. If anything, I am freeing them from their prison. They are imprisoned by this project that I am never going to finish. So now I just ran into...
This is a nerd alert.
And... Ah! Yes! Thank you, Ian. Thank you. Thank you. I should already be talking about that. Blapple and DJ, the two people responsible for coordinating Team Stream Stars, both of them. And you can vote for both of them. This is the cool thing about the Gamers Awards. We won Best Creative Streamer, which is not a category this time around, which is too bad. And my joke has been, oh, well, clearly, Shin Wong and I, who tied for it last year, we broke the mold, and so they can't do it again. Thank you for shouting out, Blapple. Yes and no. It was attached already to a partially used cake. So now that I've done that, if you have the end of it, Karen, then yes. But because it was still attached, yeah. And to go backwards would be going from the outside of the cake. So now I can wind it because I've found one of the ends. But Blapple and DJ, both of them. thegamehers.com/awards-2024. Thank you, Ian, for putting that in the chat. And I'm just gonna copy pasta. And so you don't vote for just one, even within a category, right? You can vote for multiple people. You can give everyone a vote if you wanted to. But I like that they do it that way. And then you just advance to the finalist round. And then even within that, I believe you can vote for more than one person. So please vote for both of them and check out the other nominees. And I have no idea what happened with the Streamer Awards. I wasn't very good about promoting that because I'm just being realistic, okay? I'm being pragmatic. There's literally almost no way that I would end up. And that's okay. We're not there. And maybe yet should follow that statement. Hello, Banky. How are you? I appreciate the thought and that you guys wanted to nominate me. That is enough for me. There's also no way I'd be able to attend. It's the week of two of my 3 children's birthdays. So it's not happening. Thank you guys though. Thank you very much if you did nominate me for the Streamer Awards. The category, the number one category that I would be most suited to would be the creative category, where they're smushing so many of us together. And I understand, I get it. But you know, it's like art, music, food and drink, all of that. It's okay. Don't worry. I can't remember who all I nominated for everything, but I did go through and do nominations. And I appreciate it. I really appreciate the thought. But there's some pretty stiff competition there. In music especially. Like putting music in with art, food and drink. I'm pretty sure that's how they did it, right? Music should have had its own separate category. Because there's so many awesome, really great music streamers. Not because it reduces anyone else's chances of winning. And maybe they should if you're putting us all together. But if they gave music its own award, which honestly, like, why wouldn't you? It's its own separate subcategory on the platform. They're not even included with us in the creative subdirectory. It's so much larger than all the other categories. And whoever wins, if they're a musician, should win Music Streamer of the Year. Like, honestly, they should probably have a performer and a DJ. They should have DJ Streamer of the Year because there's so many DJs and they're awesome. And I love DJs. I love what they do. We love DJ Tantrum SC here. We love Thug Shells. We love, who else have we been to who's a DJ? We love Whoppy. I would love to nominate Whoppy for DJ Streamer of the Year. A lot of DJs are also musicians who do loop stuff. So maybe there would be too much crossover, perhaps. I don't know. So, it's like, I get that some of this is about the coordination aspect of it and then having to check to make sure that people actually stream in those categories that they're being nominated for. But I at least think music should have had its own category. So it's okay, though. I think it's cool that people do stuff like this. Cutie Cinderella, is that who is the person, if I'm not mistaken, who does this? And I'm like, I don't really know much about her. I don't travel in the circles of people who are like hyper popular household names when it comes to streaming. In general, it makes me nervous. I mean, not really. Like, if I was sitting at a table with somebody like that, I would just chat with them. You know? But like, I don't know if I have anything in common with a lot of those people, and that's okay. Noki, I don't think that feeling guilt over it is productive. I think that, you know, if you would have done it, that's great. And maybe you'll know about it next time, you know? You think they still need to do actual voting for the finalists, but nothing has been announced for it yet. Yeah. Submission for nominations is over, from what I understand. And again, I am so grateful for what we have here. Like, and that doesn't mean you shouldn't reach for things. It doesn't mean you shouldn't set goals. It doesn't mean, like, I'm stoked for science. I am super stoked for science. Submitting an ambassador application. Let's go. And so we are celebrating my birthday and partnerversary coming up. Now it's your turn. Valiant. Valiant is celebrating 1 year of partner, and also happy birthday to baby Ilona coming up really quick here. And I believe might be getting what they call the hero slot on the front page, which is incredible. I'm so happy for you. You deserve all of that support. You absolutely deserve ambassador. You're an excellent example of positivity, high value content, working really well with other people, tons of collaborating with paleontologizing lately and other people. And one thing I would like to be able to do with Valiant is do a stream where we talk about the science behind fiber art and explain how, you know, things like yarn dyeing or spinning or needle felting fiber, felting fiber and stuff like that. How does that stuff work? You know, what's the science behind it? How do you dye yarn? They do a lot to help spread knowledge on Twitch and IRL, and just also provide like a fun and wholesome environment that people feel comfortable in, and it's enjoyable. I don't support science for any reason other than that I think they do a great job. I also happen to like them, but they do a great job. And I got to meet Valen in person, and it was really fun. What you see is what you get. And Danny from Paleontologizing. Danny was awesome too. Danny was such a sweet person. Like, very approachable. Super duper friendly. Like, again, exactly like he seems on stream, you know? I feel like most of us in like science and technology, crafting, and a lot of people who are gamers too are the same on stream as they are in person, but maybe, you know, and we all have a little bit of a stream persona. I got to hang out with Karen so much. I miss you, Karen. I'm trying to talk Hubs into doing TwitchCon and making it an extended, like a family vacation, and we go to Anaheim and take the kids to Disneyland. He probably won't want to do a whole lot of TwitchCon stuff with me unless he decides he's going to do like a Magic the Gathering, like a card thing there. Yeah, are you planning on going, Karen? You said you were planning on going, but it's in San Diego this time and not in Vegas. Then again, I think they made the right choice. I think Vegas is a tough location for TwitchCon. You're going, Mickey? Nice. Hi, the Ethernai. How are you? You didn't get your dice bag yet, did you, RC? That's not what you were going to say before, was it? You're hoping to go. Your dad likes San Diego. Yeah, Smorf. I mean, you know, you have time to plan since they just announced it. Awesome. Hey, and I understand things can change if something comes up and you can't go. That's how that is. But I didn't get enough of you, Karen. Mickey, this one is, I need to do an Amazon storefront thingy. Whatever it is. Not a storefront. What is that called? I contacted their customer support or their affiliate support because I cannot get SiteStripe to work in Chrome on a regular browser. I can only generate affiliate links on my phone. And I've tried everything. I wonder if I have to like clear cookies and clear cache and all that stuff. All that nonsense. I haven't tried that actually. I guess I should say I tried. What is going on? What? When the glasses come on. Also getting really long. It's so poofy today. I tried to blow dry it and all it did was just make it poofy. Anyhow, thank you for the bits, Smorf. What do you mean, Mars? You have been here so many times. This is surprising to you? This is nothing, exactly. Hi, Emerald. I love you, Emerald. Even if you build... Like mother, like daughter. Stop it! I can't figure out why. One part of it won't stay put. So this is That's the name of the one that I'm using, the yarn winder. Come on. Now the problem is I just don't want this to be like too... And it's probably shaking the camera, I'm sorry. Ooh. I'll be right back. I think there might be a package out of the front. Not yet. It was a notification that the post office here has it. It means it could show up today. It's 11 o'clock. Usually they're here sometime around, I mean, it really depends, but typically they get to us before noon-ish. And it's 11:07. Okay. So yeah, I just was like winging this, and I wasn't really in love with how it was turning out, but I just kept going. And I think like it's better to listen to your instincts and be like, you know what? I just don't like how this is working out. I don't care for the way that it's working up. So I'm just gonna take it out and do something else with it. Your nose has been to the grindstone all morning. Well, I am sorry I missed your stream yesterday. I love you. And if you guys are not following, because I had checked for you and I didn't see you on, and then I didn't realize that you had gone live after that. I know. You don't. I know I don't have to apologize. But I love you. You're on your way to spend time with your bestie. You're going to the place where you got your bearded dragon to look at the animals. They're a famous reptile and amphibian breeder and have monitor lizards, anacondas, teensy baby chameleons, big tortoises, spiders. How cool. That's awesome. Yeah, this... I'm so excited for the Sharps, and I need to pop back into their stream soon. For this new project they have going at MV. I'm really excited for them, and I just think the world of them.
Coco, señorita. Te tocará la canción de mi gente. Va así.
How's that for multitasking? You can't stop me, Impact. You cannot distract me. I'm hyper-focused, Impact. Yeah, we don't have a how long has 9 been winding yarn? I'm gonna take that button away. I'm gonna take that button away. I'm gonna replace every sound in there with like 17 just like fart noises like this. This one I have to use both hands for. Thank you for the biddies, Robot Wizard and Ghost. They were far enough apart from Smurfs that it has not started a hype train.
Mama! Mama!
That's too much shaking.
Mama, 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 mama,
That's too much shaking. I don't want you guys to have to look at that. Yeah. You need a CNC shop. You want a part that you can't get, so you need to get it made. That emote from Moko is both hilarious and disturbing. God, I haven't been in their channel in a minute either. I really need to hang out with them next time I'm not live during the day on a weekday. Which is like never, because I stream constantly. Just save yourselves for a week from today, okay? Birthday-versary, whatever you want to call it. Partner-versary. I wonder if I wound these cakes. This project is so old. I might have wound these cakes on the other yarn winder that like was smaller. So they come in different sizes, and this one will make quite the large cake. No! I wonder if this was behind it, if it would shake less. You feel like you've said this before, but you love the colors in this hat. Yeah, it's just red heart mirror. You currently have one that you can push to handle 200 grams, but it's really not supposed to go over 100. You need a bigger one. I'm sorry. I need to just give up on the idea that I can do it straight from the piece, or else it'll shake the camera way too much. I don't want anybody to get sick. Some background noise while you study. Awesome. I hope the studying goes well. It's, you know, it can be enjoyable sometimes, and then other times, you know, it's like stretching your brain in ways that are a little bit uncomfy. That's not a bad thing. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating content. Do I need another camera positioned here? I still have my Brio. I just don't know where it is. I feel like it's in a tote bag or a messenger bag. It's in a pocket of a bag. This is all Christmas stuff except for this. I'm just right over here, Chad. Everything is fine. What's up, truck driver? How you doing? No! Why are you doing this? Wait. Stop. Oh, man. What is happening now? I am very tangled up all of a sudden. Oh, hi, Lotus. I don't know why that didn't work. Maybe GiftBot isn't working. I'll restart it. Welcome to the chat room. Welcome to the chat room in the chat. We probably disconnected from Twitch chat or something. That's cheating. Listen. That's what I have to say to that, truck driver. What do you think about that? I'm frogging a project I'm never gonna finish and freeing the yarn from the limbo that I imprisoned it in. Be free, yarn. Yeah, it was a Granny Square shrug that I started that I just wasn't in love with how it was working up. And I just decided rather than let it sit in a pile,
What's this button do?
Tier 3 resub and 54 months. That button makes me cry. I love you. Thank you so much. Thank you, friend. You're awesome. I appreciate the heck out of you. Thank you for tier 3. I don't know about that. Oh, we do have a conversation started with the emo artist. Did you really, truck driver? That's so sweet. For some more animated emotes. Because they gave me more than I could have ever imagined I would have. Which is awesome. I was thinking maybe Twitch might give us, like, a few per extra tier. And then they went ahead and made my wildest dreams come true. You know, are there a lot of other things they probably should work on before that? I don't know, yeah. But I do think that it is a way that you can maybe make those extra levels of support worth it here, even though people do know that we're not getting the, you know, full amount, obviously. How you feeling? Oh, okay. Sesky. And I'm not sure if Sesky's site is working right now. Let me look. Yes. It just takes you to Sesky's Ko-fi. And you should definitely check in with them and let them know that I sent you. But I love them, and their work is amazing, and they've done a lot of awesome stuff for us. In fact, I'm asking Sesky if they will do some panels and other artwork. Human, which is an upgrade. Pre-op starts next week. Okay. I am glad that there is a plan in motion and that it's getting taken care of. But I know it's been rough, and I love you, and I'm sorry that you've been going through that. No fun. If the parts of people I love could stop trying to unalive them, that would be great. That'd be great. When you're feeling, when it's all said and done and you're feeling up to it, we need to figure out a time that we can hang out. And it doesn't have to be a broadcast. It can just be you and me hanging out. It could be a broadcast, but it doesn't have to. So, you know, I'll pester you again. I don't know when I would be back in Portland, but we could probably make that happen. I think it's probably easier for me to find a way to come to you than it is the other way around, because we're so out here. And there's no longer public transportation. Which is annoying. Frog! Completely frogged. That project no longer exists in the back of my mind as a failure. This needs to be rewound. I know. It is not. It is not on the whip wheel. Why are you bringing up the whip wheel right now? Ian? Whip wheel is turned off because reasons. And I would love to do something off the whip wheel if it weren't for the fact that I just really need to organize this space and make it less overwhelming. I walked down here and I don't know where to start. And I just need to set aside time, you know, not to be like obsessive over it. I'm not looking to have this space like Instagram, you know, showroom photograph ready every day. But I need the space to work for me and not against me. So I actually do like the tubs that came from the throne, and I might put some more of those in there because those were helpful. I know I was joking and saying, you know, stuff like storage bins is not like a sexy gift for someone for their birthday, but I don't care. Ads starting in 30 seconds. Yeah. Thank you, Emerald, for the heads up about the ads. You're awesome. I appreciate you. I hope your evening is going well, friend. I love you. Any sewists in chat that want to recommend? I actually put a pair of shears in my throne. You would kiss someone who gave you storage bins. Consensually, of course, yes. You're having a quiet-ish evening with me? In the background? Are you sure about that? I hear the garbage truck outside, which is awesome because they skipped us last week because of the weather. On a recycling week, of course, and we only get our recycling picked up every other week. So I'm going to be swimming in recycling. Now, I mean, they told us, they were like, just put out double next time that you have a pickup scheduled. Which is fine and everything, but it's like, in our household, that piles up real fast. Yes. I actually have pegboard. It's called Wall Control metal purple pegboard that I am going to put up down here if I can ever get around to finally like clearing the space to be able to install it. And what I'd like to be able to do is take the yarns that I use most frequently and put them on, like, have hooks sticking out that they can live on. Right. And that's what I need, is to be able to have space in here. Because this is not very deep. Like, look, I can touch this. It might look that way on stream. It's not. I have maybe, I'm going to guess, A max of 12 by 12. Max. Probably not even. Probably more like, I don't know, 10 by 10. 100 square feet is not very big. It's better than nothing. It's better than having to try to find somewhere upstairs for all my stuff or, you know. If you just got an ad break, thank you for staying through it. I really appreciate it. It is a way to support the channel. I understand they're not, you know, always for things that even really would apply to you. I have no control over what ads they give you. And no relationship whatsoever with the products or the companies. But this is a free to access ad supported platform. Dawn says, no ads for me. What's up, Alkali? Dawn, thank you so much for 30 months. Oh, we didn't do... Okay, noise warning, which is like, should just apply to this whole stream. Fairy, you resubbed for 54 months. We squeeze the chicken now, Donna. We squeeze the chicken now for the number of months you've resubbed. Okay? So that's a lot of months for Fairy. All right? I'm just warning you. I'm about to do a lot of rubber chicken squeaking, okay? For Fairy and then also for Dawn. And then if it's a round year number, like 12, 24, 36, etc., you get a big chicken squawk. However many. And yes, I do. I push all the air out for each year on your year anniversaries, okay? Ready? Here's Fairy's 54 baby rubber chicken squeaks. 27, 28, 29. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. I love you. Thank you. Oh my God, don't ask me, Dawn. And then Dawn's is 30. Oh, so I just thought of something. You're tier 3. So I should have been doing it with 3 chickens. One, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54. Everyone's animals are paying attention now. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you for 30 months. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 30. Thank you so much. And thank you for the 100 steak in the dryer biddies, Donna. Poink, says Donna. I appreciate you. Thank you for the support for the channel. And also, don't think that I didn't see what you did. The face is the mouth is a little bit crooked on this, but I kind of like it that way. Smolded, no C. And I'm not like I don't celebrate Valentine's Day in a big way or anything like that, but I don't know. Like, I have a daughter who loves pink. She is a holiday. She loves holidays. She loves anything, any excuse to celebrate, to have a party, to make things for people. She is a very generous. What's What's up, Lobster Licka? How are you? She has a very generous and a very loving and giving personality. And so while there's a part of me that is very jaded about holidays because of years and years and years of restaurant work, I realized that that is my cross to bear, and I won't dump that in her lap and take her joy from her. Thanks, Wiffle. It's just Red Heart. One of their stripes colorways. I can't remember the exact name of it. I'm picky about neon. Yeah, so I'm just kind of trying to clean up in here and maybe feel like I'm somewhat ready for our first partnerversary. It feels like it was just yesterday. Tell me you're married to a card shop owner without telling me you're married to a card shop owner. I carried all of my business cards with the stickers in with them all around TwitchCon in this. I was mentioning this yesterday, but the mom of the girl who Mooney spent the night after her party is like excited to like play Magic with our girls. And I gave her our copy of the game night version, the like one with the pre-made decks in it, and was like, borrow this from us. I know I'll get it back from you. Take it. Go play with your family. And if you like it, we could play sometime. And then come buy your cards from us and not at that place over in Washington because they'll charge you sales tax. That's not the only reason I like her and would love to play. Oh yeah, why not? I was like, do you want to borrow this? I brought it to her. I was like, do you want to borrow it? She was like, I was looking at it. I was like, I know. Look, if restaurants taught me one thing, it's to be able to key into like, what does this person want and how do I help them have it and enjoy it in a way that feels like a happy choice and not like they were being pressured into something. Because I know I've been places where I felt like somebody was trying to like wheel and deal me, you know, whether it was a restaurant or what, a clothing store, wherever. And I know that sometimes it wasn't by choice, that they were forced to do that because whoever is in charge, whether it's a corporate place or not, is requiring them to do it. So I don't blame the employee. But I think that people are more likely to become repeat customers, supporters, whatever, when they feel good about the decision and like it was of their own volition. And that may be a slower path, but it's a more rewarding one for everyone involved, and it's more stable. And I think there's this myth that everything has to happen at the most breakneck pace possible. And it's not healthy for anyone. And it's not stable. And again, talking about the stuff where people blow up overnight on social media. Sometimes that works out really well for the person, but I think that's the exception rather than the rule. And that doesn't mean we're not thankful if it happens, but I'm saying I just don't see that as something. I'm not shooting for it. And it's almost insulting when the stuff that you spend little to no time on blows up instead of the things that you work hard on. You're like, why this video? Like, that is a complete, is just a nothing throwaway. And I think it's partly because they want to keep you guessing. Because if you can figure out the formula or whatever, then you'll get what you need out of it. And maybe if it's not something you're trying to do to like support yourself and you're just doing it for fun, you'll lose interest because it's no longer a challenge. You've already figured out. You have the key to the, you know, you've made it through the maze and you know how to get yourself back. They don't even want you leaving like breadcrumbs for yourself, I feel like. Because I'll watch tutorial videos or I'll look at stuff that's made by the platform, you know, supposedly telling you, here's what you should do to increase your engagement or have better this or that or the other thing when it comes to your content. And all of it is so obvious and such common sense stuff, or it's pointedly vague that I feel like they're just dangling something in front of people to be able to say that they did it. So I think you just have to do what you feel like doing and just try to be happy doing it. You had a video on IG of you using your branding iron, which you never use, go crazy, but your actual wood burning vids are rarely viewed. Yup. Stuff like that, you know? It is what it is. I'm not, you know, again, I'm like the Gengar thing where I did the not a reaction video, but a where I remixed someone else's YouTube short, I think it was, from that Crochet by Kitten Girl. And she's very popular. She has tons of videos that have hundreds of thousands of likes and millions of views, and you know, not every single one of her videos does that well, but a lot of them do. And she offers a lot of tips. She's making content to help others as well as, you know, to promote herself and the stuff that she sells. So she draws in people who are fellow crafters. She also draws in people who want to purchase the dolls. She does calls for testers, and you know, I think she has a nice, well-rounded attitude toward crafting content. She has a personality, you know, like she has a lot of the things that you would think might make someone successful. And she's doing a great job with consistent content and uploading frequently and all that stuff, right? This is what she does. It is her full-time thing, I'm pretty sure. And I don't know if that's why the Gengar video took off and got like 11,000 views, which is a lot for me. I know it's not a lot for a lot of other people. And I reposted it on Instagram. Sometimes something that does really well on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or whatever does terribly on another platform. It did better on Instagram than it did on YouTube. And I used YouTube's tools to make the video. So then you got to wonder too, are they looking for those type of videos where they can tell that you made it on another platform but then used it over there and going like, hey, look what happened to your video over here? What do you think about that, content creator? Yeah? Like trying to lure you into creating more content on their platform versus the other. I have no idea. I think it has almost 20,000 views on Instagram. And again, it's like, okay, so is it because it's involving that other creator who also has like a very large audience? I don't know. I'm not trying to clout chase. I just thought it was cool that she made a Gengar. And I have a huge life-size Gengar that I've been making for like almost 3 years. Well, 2.5-ish. Like, I wouldn't just take one of her videos and you know, basically it's like a duet. Like, I wouldn't just take one of her videos and remix it or duet it or whatever you want to call it. Like, for no reason other than that she's a bigger creator than me, numbers-wise. I just thought it was cool because I like her. Again, it's just like the felted video game. I like her. I like what she does. So I was like, just basically responding. And then somebody was like, geez, it's not a competition. Because I was like, yeah, I'm also making a Gengar. It's huge. Look at this thing. And, instead of taking it the wrong way or whatever, I responded with, oh yeah, no, it's definitely not a competition. And if it were, she would win because she finished hers and I'm still working on mine 2.5 years later. And they responded kindly, like sometimes how you respond to people when it seems like they might be criticizing you can like turn things entirely around. Actually, Fairy, I saw you do that once. Very well, in fact. You were shopping at Michael's, I think it was. You were live from Michael's. And somebody came in and they said, why did Twitch recommend this to me? And I went, my claws were out. I was about to type in your chat, if you don't like it. And you very like logically and just very matter of fact, but like in a nice, very nice, like a friendly tone, you were like, oh, well, could be that you, or it could have been something like, why do I have a sub in here? Or who knows what? Why did somebody give me a sub here? I don't remember. I think it was more along the lines of, why was this in my recommended, or why did Twitch show me this? And you were like, well, maybe you do have some common interest with us, or maybe you know somebody who's in here or something like that. And sure. But they ended up staying and chatting. And I don't remember what their username was, but they actually really ended up seeming like they were having a good time hanging out in your channel. So you like turned that situation around, because it would be easy to just assume the worst of the person. It could be that it was an honest question that unfortunately is kind of insensitive and rude. The person may not have realized that it could come across as insensitive and rude. Why is this supposed to be interesting to me is the underlying sentiment of that, right? When you are so non-pulsed at the rude, they either run or join in, right? So they either go, I agree fully. They either go, oh, I can't get a reaction out of this person, I'm out. Or they say, oh, wow, they're being nice to me. Huh, well, I'll give it a chance. And it turns out that they're actually not a bad person. They probably just didn't think before they said that. Because we're human, and it is our job to learn how to deal with comments like that, for sure, especially if you do this full time. It doesn't change whether or not it might still make us feel kind of yucky if somebody says something like that. Oh, wow, okay. Why am I supposed to find this interesting? Well, I don't know. You just got here. Maybe give it a chance for a minute. Because, the thing is, it's the idea that we're supposed to just, like, immediately hook people. In fact, we forgot to do our read video earlier for Brit. I mean, I even have something that's supposed to, like, specifically designed to give people a window into, like, the more exciting moments that happen. Because not every time that someone reads in is going to be, like, the hypest moment possible.
Ooh, 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 ayo.
So, I don't know if Brit's even here or anyone from Brit's community is still here. If you'd like to see the read video, I will gladly play it. But I skipped that step earlier. What's up, Conan? Why are you ooh-wooing right now? What is there to ooh-woo about? Some of you guys, I'm convinced, there is absolutely no rhyme or reason to like how or when you choose to redeem things. Hi, I'm new. Can I see the video? After almost 8 years, it's you like or don't. Hope you stay. If not, have fun wherever you land. Yes. Yes, exactly. Mayo, yes. We do not see their faces. We do not hear their voices. And again, some people do not stop to think about how those cold, hard symbols in a chat room are could easily be misinterpreted as I don't like this, or I disapprove of this, or whatever. And there's a famous example in our channel where Sin came in while this is how I met Barry. or how I got to know, I already knew who Fairy was, but how I got to know the Ohana Fairies community and be part of it was I was streaming for St. Jude from my front yard, and I had suffered on the receiving end of hateful and trolly comments about, poor quality of broadcast and too old to stream and why are you a woman on the internet? Who doesn't want me to say gross stuff at her? And so I jumped to the conclusion initially. I hadn't said anything yet. I jumped to the conclusion initially that Sin's comments about my stream were about to be a barrage of, nastiness. And it was all a lie. And he is one of the sweetest people. And he was mad that as a charity streamer, my bit cup was empty on my screen. I'm like about to lay into him and go, you don't have to hang out. This isn't an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. Goodbye. And just ban before this person could start lambasting me with their nasty critical remarks. And it turned out he was commenting on the fact that I was fundraising for St. Jude and that was awesome and that he approved of that. And I immediately launched into that's lovely and it's so great and thank you so much. But please, we have a goal bar. And he dragged a bunch of people to the channel and they helped me with my goal. Yep. All these people start showing up in my channel and I was also a little bit worried by that, not 100% sure what was going on. But it quickly became clear that it was out of love and a fellow charity person, and it was pretty awesome. It's true, Lobster, unfortunately. But that is why stuff like that happening is why I don't stop and why I didn't stop back then, even though the proportion of bad stuff that would come into the chat versus good stuff was certainly higher then. I wouldn't say that it outweighed it by any means. But there is a window of viewership that I feel like people who are up to no good pick on. And it's either, and it happens to all of us, regardless of the size of our channels. But the really small channels get it a lot because the people think that they're just going to put up with it because they're desperate for engagement and views and whatever, because they're inexperienced or whatever. They think they can get away with it in really small channels. And then they also try to get away with it more in bigger channels because there's a bigger audience and more eyeballs on them and more attention. 5 minutes in, you went, she is one of us. Yes. We would have found each other eventually, no matter what. I'm convinced. But Sin just facilitated it. So I actually am still friends with him on Facebook and see some of his Facebook updates whenever I actually look at Facebook. He's a good guy. And I still eat with my titanium chopsticks and have to fight over them with my 13-year-old. My 13-year-old always wants to use my chopsticks from Sin. Is that coffee? Can you have some? Oh, I would gladly make you a cup. I have a mocha pot, Lotus. Have you ever tried mocha pot? I got a mocha pot, and Hubs and I are obsessed. Yeah, I hope he's doing all right. I know he's made some comments about having some, not being able to do as much mail, and I know you completely empathize with that. Not being able to crank out the mail at the rate, M-A-I-L-L-E, chainmail, at the rate that he used to be able to. And I'm like, well, you don't need to. You don't have to produce the same amount or more for every one of these events that you don't charge anybody anything for, and that you do out of the kindness and the most amazing giving. I can't. Sin never sold any of his stuff. He would accept support for his channel and then would take all of it and just buy materials to make more stuff to give it away. And he would do the anodizing on stream, which was pretty cool to watch. Your favorite claim to fame is most people take themselves out of the room instead of being banned. Yeah. Yeah. It just doesn't I don't understand it personally. It doesn't occur to me to behave like that, but I have been around it enough to know what's going on. So I think there's a way to deal with it that's healthy for us, you know, and puts enough of a shield up. He easily, with that pendant push, spent $3K at least. He baffles you in the best way, I know. It's pretty awesome. Somebody with that kind of talent and skill and deciding they just want to like share it with people and not profit from it in any way. I mean, you could argue he's reaping a benefit, but it's not worldly or monetary, you know? And for some people that is more than enough. And I mean, he would probably also argue that like he's in a position to do that. I know lots of people who say that. Like our friend Bread for Kids who does his whole channel for charity. He is like, I make a good living doing my full-time job. So I'm fortunate. I'm very lucky to be able to make this choice. Not everyone can make that choice. And I'm glad he says it like that because, you know, it can be hard. Those of us that do a lot of charity, we never want to seem like we are prey. When we're doing charity, that's the priority. But we also have to pay our bills and have internet and lights and food and pay our mortgage. You know? Rack, what are you up to today? See, ooh, connecting to chat. Everything okay? I bet you GiftBot borked now. Let's try. Whenever that happens, I feel like that's when GiftBot borks because it gets disconnected and it's not GiftBot's fault. What is it? Let's try that one. Oh, it worked. Thank you for the lurk, Donna. I appreciate you. Speaking of people who do a lot of stuff for charity and who you should give a follow to if you're not already. Keyborg60 is our friend Donna. And is a fellow streamer and does a lot of Minecraft stuff, amongst other things, but a lot of Minecraft. And if you have anything fun coming up, Donna, and you have time right now to talk about it, you would be welcome to, please. You just got home from your orientation for the internship. It went super well. Yay! Oh, Rack, I'm so happy for you. We're so excited to be working for this organization. Yeah. Well, and I mean, you know, I am not trying to feed into any kind of doom and gloom attitude about anything at all. But you might have noticed that I've been focusing a little bit more on some other content creation outlets. I went ahead and I bit the bullet and downloaded the TikTok Live Studio software. Hubs was like, why'd you do that? I was like, because we need to make sure that we are... Because we need stable income. That's why. And he was like, all right. He's not a fan of TikTok. I understand. I understand people's concerns with it. I don't expect you guys to download the app and watch me there if you're not into it. Please don't do it just for me. And I don't plan on focusing heavily on content over there. But it doesn't hurt to take the stuff I'm already doing here, YouTube, Instagram, and post the videos there and maybe do the occasional live. I'm not looking to like try to blow up on TikTok in particular. But you know, most of us that create content, we do it on multiple platforms. So I'm more focused on YouTube and live space right now as far as stuff outside of Twitch. Instagram is a good platform for me. I think Instagram is good for fiber artists and creatives in general. But I feel like they're a little slow on the uptake when it comes to like new features in content creation and stuff sometimes. You know, they got on board the short form content thing with Reels and all that. Eventually they did, but you know. I don't know. I'm I'm no expert. Some of you try to come to me for advice, and I'm like, why would you want my advice? I am a hot mess. I have no idea what I'm doing half the time. I just do stuff, and sometimes it sticks. It's great when it sticks, but I get it. I understand wanting to, and I'm not saying don't ask me for advice. I'm saying I might not have a lot of useful pointers or tips for you. Kermit flail. It's just shooting in the dark a lot of the time. And honestly, really the number one piece of advice I would give anybody looking to make content is, if you enjoy it, don't stop. Keep going. Keep trying. Try not to let yourself be too discouraged if something doesn't work out the way that you wanted it to. You just have to keep trying different things. Trial and error, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. Yes, of course. Practice makes perfect, and you will learn things and you will get better, and trying to learn from things is important, but something that worked great for you and might even work great for you for a while will stop working for some reason. You have to be willing to take risks, and you also have to be able to handle failure amongst successes may happen less frequently than failures, but they will happen if you keep after it and you love it and you dedicate time to it. But you can't just press a button and hope that things will work out. And I don't feel like this is true of most people in our corner of Twitch, but I see it with a lot of younger folks who think they're just going to like go live, play video games, and get famous. And I'm like, oh no, it doesn't work like that. This is the same as, the myth that they marketed to people with like Le Cordon Bleu Culinary Institute. This is a good analogy. They put a bunch of ads on TV showing people in chef outfits in restaurants, become a chef in as little as, 1 year, 2 years or whatever. Get an associate's degree and become a chef. And it's like, no. You're going to go to culinary school and you're going to learn some stuff. And actually, I'm not saying that culinary school in and of itself is a bad thing. You're going to learn some things in culinary school, and then they're still going to put you on the salad station when you get your first restaurant job. They're going to go, oh, that's nice. They'll pat you on the head and go make salads. You do not walk out of culinary school and go get a job as a chef somewhere unless you already had extensive restaurant and management experience prior to going to culinary school. You legit was asked by your aunt over a decade ago, how do I go viral? Well, you see. Oh, man. Reminds you of your interest, of your industry, too. Learn to do lashes in 1 week and make 6 figures in just 6 months. Yeah, no. I mean, it's hard because, there's television shows that, what's the word I'm looking for here? This is Tolkien's bag. I need to meal out. They put this idea in people's heads that there's all of this like romantic. I actually think Ratatouille, yes, they glamorize it. I think Ratatouille, even though it still definitely is this fictionalized version, it does show you some of like the high pressure environment that can happen, particularly in nicer kitchens where someone's reputation is on the line and you have a chef barking at you while you're trying to manage a bunch of different things. And there is prestige and there's people's egos and critics and how they can make or break a place. And even people who have a genuine and a deep love of cooking can end up, in a situation where they just are no longer relevant according to the fads and the trends, and, the publications don't cover their stuff anymore. So their restaurants slowly die. And, it's an interesting examination. I think it's actually a much more realistic depiction of restaurants than a lot of other movies. But again, the idea that every person who ends up in the restaurant industry is there because they just absolutely love making food. That is true for a lot of people. And would that everyone who worked in the industry was in that situation. But for the most part, it's people just trying to make a living to get by. And they don't make enough money. And they can't even afford to live in the neighborhoods or even remotely close to where they work because it's a fancy neighborhood. Or they're working, diner jobs and stuff where they sometimes work in unsafe conditions and they have abusive management. And it is not as romantic as in general. Again, there are places with good ownership, good management, where you learn and you grow, and they allow their employees to be creative. And I was treated very well at my last restaurant job, but that was the exception rather than the rule. And it's why I wanted it to be my final restaurant job ever, because I was treated like an adult and with respect. I was given control that I would never have been given at other restaurants in my role. Never. So you were told there were culinary school. You were told there were the culinary school chefs, the corporate chefs. I fought my way to this job. There's a lot of different paths to it for sure. I think many people have worked all of those. So I did corporate restaurants as a server. I did hotel restaurants as a server. I did chain restaurants. I did mom and pops. I worked in places where tons of the people who I worked with were culinary school graduates. I worked for people who received national press. I worked for people who had owned their place for 30 years and nobody knew the name of the owner. They just knew it was that place. Like, they did, but it wasn't like they were, in the papers and stuff like that. So I think it is a widely varying industry. And hi, Teal. Hello, how are you, friend? How did your show go, Teal? How was the show? Tell me all about it. Some people have really great experiences in restaurant work and wouldn't trade it for anything. But the vast majority of us do not a lot of the time. You followed around the same Italian restaurant owner through multiple shops. Right. Well, when you get to know people on a personal basis, that's totally different from knowing who they are from the newspaper. You sold 3 pieces and some collage packs and some zines, and you had an upcycled bookmaking workshop. Wow, that was sold out. What? That's awesome. And you got day drunk and you were cute. Oh, I bet. And was fart. You got day drunk and was. Thank you, Budspot. Budspot got day drunk and was fart. You got me. Yes. So, I'm not telling people not to work in restaurants. I'm saying be aware. It is an industry that is fraught, particularly in the States, with a lot of issues, including a lot of pay inequity of various types. For example, obviously the overarching pay differential issues they exist in restaurants just like they do everywhere else. But then on top of that, there's the tipped versus the non-tipped employees and the tipping system in the United States and all the problems that has. And again, the expectation that you should work these crazy hours in the kitchen in particular, and sacrifice so much of your free time and just be broken by the end of a career in the restaurants, literally. Like your body, because it's such physical work. That guy, Chef Reactions, he talks all the time. He's like, I'm so thankful. I thought I was just going to end up having to do this in restaurants until I was just completely busted. Yeah, the kitchen is hard. And I did do it when I first started working in restaurants. I was dishwashing, catering prep, all kinds of stuff. In the back of the house is what they'll call it, or some places I've started calling it heart of house, which I love this impulse to imply, that, but I can totally hear a bunch of my former kitchen coworkers laughing their asses off at calling them heart of house and going like, that's lame. I mean, only because, like, you know, most places that's lip service. Like, what are you doing for me? Are you offering me structured pay raises? Are you covering, for example, maybe sponsoring part of the cost of me obtaining high quality equipment to do my job? Like, for example, are you helping reimburse me for the cost of, like, say, for example, really high quality professional knives or something like that, if I'm, like, struggling to pay for something like that, or, you know, or just compensating me so I can afford them. And, you know, these kids are walking around with hundreds, if not thousands of dollars of equipment in a case that they have paid for themselves out of their meager earnings. You know, it's and then that stuff gets stolen while they're not paying attention on the bus because they had one too many beers after their shift, you know, because they got their butt kicked and they set their knife roll down next to them on the bus and somebody walks off with it. And it's so heartbreaking. I've had so many friends who've gotten their knife rolls stolen from them. And, you know, it's like, not only is that, like, highly dangerous because they basically are weapons, but that's literally their livelihood in a tiny, not tiny, but in a case about, you know, this big that, like, rolls up, that keeps all their stuff in there, all their different tools, their tweezers for pulling bones out of fish, their, you know, I don't know how many different types of knives they have in there, right? They've got paring knives and all kinds of stuff for different tasks. And they collect that stuff over time. And then, you know, one of them gets busted because it was cheap and they got to buy a new one and replace it. And it's just like, this is the side of it that a lot of people don't see. Good knives are not cheap. You know, and then they've got to use the house equipment, which is terrible usually. Or borrow from a friend at work, and that's annoying to them. You know, yeah, I guess you can borrow my fillet knife. Like, because it got stolen and their friend doesn't want them to be, you know, without the tools they need. Like, it's a lot. And many people do it because they love it and they don't care about not getting paid well. But a lot of people are doing it because they don't have another choice. So just remember that the next time you go out to eat and your food is taking a little extra time, you know? Some grace, some patience for these people because they deal with a lot. Tech industry is a joke. We're family here. No, I'm not working weekends. Oh, they tried to do that to me at a restaurant, RC, and I was like, not doing that. Not coming in for a cleaning party where you pay me the national minimum wage instead of the tipped minimum wage, where you give me a whole $2 extra an hour to come in and clean your restaurant, which you should have professionals come and do because they would do it more efficiently, more thoroughly. And also, that's not enough money for me to come in and spend an entire day of the weekend away from my family and doing something that you should just figure out a way to budget for. You have a friend who left work super late and exhausted. He left his knife roll on top of his car and didn't realize it until he got home. He retraced his route home and found it in the middle of the expressway. Wow, how lucky. When he retrieved it, thankfully, only one knife had a small chip. Wow, he got real lucky. That's awesome that he found it. I mean, that's like, could be $1,000 easily. If not several thousands of dollars inside of a knife roll for a professional chef or, you know, a cook in a nice restaurant. Your brother's a sous chef at a high-end Mexican restaurant. They spend thousands of dollars just on utensils so they can cook their food to the best way possible. Yes. Not to mention, you know, footwear, clothing that you're not going to use for other things. Now, so a lot of the time, because cooks don't make enough, they're not eligible for claiming these items as itemized deductions. Or they don't have enough cost for it to become a deduction. They just end up with a standard deduction. Aw, Rue! I love you, Rue.
For my sub gift. I love you, heart.
I love you. 33 months. And that's a 12-month gift sub from Miro. Thank you, Miro, for that gift sub for Ruru. And you get how many? 33 chicken squawks. Cover your ears. Noise warning. I'm going to squeeze this rubber chicken 33 times. Almost 3 years. Your father's the person who will give restaurant staff a hard time. The rest of you eye roll and just go, why do you always choose the food that is a struggle to make / takes a while? Once his money's worth. You know what? I used to have people who would, who were like that, right? But they would compensate me appropriately. And you know what? I would be the one who would be like, I'll take them. Put them in my section. I got this. I can handle it. And they would very generously, like, sometimes they would even force me to accept, because one group of people started asking questions. I need to do the chickens. 30, 31, 32, 33. Thank you, Rackwax. See, look at our mods stepping up. Miro's not here, or else, you know, he would be trying to backseat mod you. Miro's still on vacation. I've timed him out twice now. I said I wasn't going to do it, but I have twice. You spend $80 per pair of jeans and at least $60 for your shoes. Yep. He has his own knives as well that he's been collecting for the 10 plus years he's been a chef. And you would be willing to bet that they add up to thousands of dollars. Absolutely. Not to mention just the time they've spent learning to do things properly, you know? Practicing at home, or if they go to school. What's up, Kid Angel Arts? I'm doing all right. How are you? You're thankful to rarely run into these issues on the boat. Paychecks are good, crews paid well, and then unemployment during off-season. But if someone tries to pull a no-show or not play their part, well, there's no 3 strikes, you're out. It's usually a goodbye or one more chance if you're lucky. When your job is one of the most dangerous on the planet, everyone who wants to be there for pay needs to play their part and give 110%. It's also only 2.5 months, 6 days a week with Sundays off. You have the power to poke him and put him in his diamond place. Yes. Chilling, been ousted from your Xbox by the child. I will be ending a little bit early today because I need to prep for after school. This organizing that I'm doing right now, I could have probably done earlier in the week, but I just, you know, it's like, it's hard to get a lot of stuff done when everybody's home. And then in the evenings, I'm just tired. And I'm trying to stream, you know, here and like 4 other places. 3. The biggest gripe your father would have is ordering appetizers and entree, and then so many times they show up at the same time. So, RC, okay, I could tell. Sometimes I would come to take the order, and people would be like, we're going to start with this. We would be super busy, and I'd be like, hey, so have you decided? They're like, well, we know what we want, but we really don't want everything to come at once. And I would have to, like, reassure them. I'd be like, look, if you order stuff that's starters, I'm not going to put the whole order in all at once. And we were a nice enough place that we had coursing on our tickets as well, where it would show that something was a first course. And we would actually go and tell them, hey, can you go ahead and fire course 2? So that's why a lot of places have a system where you're supposed to fire the courses. Oh, no way, Ian. It depends on the place. If you send a whole ticket to a place that's like a really fast service type place, like a diner type atmosphere, well, then you would have to send that first ticket with the appetizer items, and the server would need to wait and course it themselves and send the next ticket manually. If you work in a nice place, you're going to put everything in and it's going to show a division like course 1, course 2, course 3. And then you either tell them, or there will be a food runner who goes and looks at tables and comes back and informs the chef where people are at in their meal. So, like, for example, one place I worked at, I did not fire my own courses, which I didn't like. I didn't like not having control over it, but it is what it is. But the food runners were generally pretty good about coming and telling me, hey, chef's firing course 2. You need to get them cleared and set for their second course. But the problem with that is sometimes people are really taking their time. And I would have to run to the kitchen and I'd have to go, hey, chef, I know you fired, but they're not ready. And they're not going to be ready for like another 10 minutes. And I can tell with this table, they're going to be upset if we bring their entrees before they're finished with their first course. So I don't know what to tell you. You fired it. And I respect you. And I know you need to get this food out of the kitchen. But they're going to be unhappy. And it's my job to relay that information to you. And they didn't like me there for that reason. I left that job within 4 months. I was like, you're not giving me enough tools to give people the experience they want. You want all the control in the kitchen. And that leaves me powerless to ensure that they have a good time. So I'm out. I left on good terms, but I left to go work somewhere else. I was like, I can't do this. The irony is I left to go to a place where they wanted everyone to do everything family style. And we tried really hard to get people on board with that method. But when we realized that that wasn't working and that people were not going to do that, listen though, they went ahead and changed it. And they went to mostly, we would still recommend that you approach the menu that way. If people came in and asked me, how should we order? I would tell them, I'd be like, oh, you should just pick a bunch of stuff that everybody's going to like and do it family style if you're comfortable with that. If you don't want to do it that way, we're happy to do individual dishes for everyone. And you just go ahead and order what you want. And I put seat numbers and all your stuff is delivered to you. So there were times when that was hard at first, but we evolved. Whereas at that place, they were never going to take that situation away where the kitchen was firing the courses. I could regale you with restaurant stories for weeks on end. I typically don't go off about this stuff because I feel like I don't want to ruin, people's. But I think it's important that customers understand what's going on behind the scenes in some ways because it is a restaurant's job. It is a restaurant's job. It is the nature of their business to feed you and to create an atmosphere for you. And that atmosphere might be you sit down on the bar stool and they go, what's up, loser? What do you want? That there is room for that place to exist. And then also, there's room for sassy service and quick and fast and cheap drinks and food. And also the very, very formal experience and all of that. You know what I mean? You like knowing how it all works so that you can make your own experience good as well as the staff. Exactly. How are you going to know if you've never worked in restaurants? You've worked restaurants, but small town, not huge crowds. You couldn't imagine doing it in the States. You'd actually like to go to a place that's one of those service with a snark. I mean, Mars, they're called dive bars. And some of them have fabulous food, diner food, greasy spoon food, but well made. It's called a dive bar or a diner, a mom and pop diner. Oh, right, because they're very real with you. One place I worked at, one time, I was the only server and I already had 15 tables. If you know anything about waiting tables, you know that it doesn't matter if it's the fastest type of restaurant ever. 15 tables is too many for one person. It's way too many. It's way beyond anyone's capability, for the most part, to take care of 15 tables. There's just no way. You're not going to take care of people. And some people came in and sat down, and I didn't approach them for a while. And finally, I decided in my head, because I didn't have any backup or support. None. I had one owner there with me and they were scrambling and something like that, right? I don't remember the exact staff I had with me, but there were not enough people there. And I walked over to the table after leaving them sitting for probably a good 15 to 20 minutes. And I said, listen, I'm really sorry, but I can't serve you. And they were like, what do you mean? And I was like, I literally cannot take another table. And they were like, well, there's space. And I'm like, yeah, that's not what I'm telling you. Yes, you can physically sit down in here. You're going to wait an hour and a half for your food. And now you're wasting even more of my time because I'm telling you, I cannot get to you. It's not going to happen today. There's a million other restaurants in a 10-block radius around here who probably are properly staffed, and I'm so sorry. But this is just the reality. I'm just telling you, I can't take another table. What if we order at the bar? You can try. You're still ordering from the same kitchen. I'm telling you, the kitchen is completely swamped, overloaded. I can't wait on you, and the kitchen is not going to produce your food anytime in the next 90 minutes. Like, and we didn't have a host. We didn't have a host. We didn't have somebody at the front who could stop people before they came in and say, hey, we're so sorry. You know, like, we'd love to take care of you today. Like, that would have been helpful. We almost never had a host at this place. It was our job to greet people, the servers. I just, you know, I'd be like, you're not listening. I'm so sorry. Not today. I just cannot. Yes! Thank you, Tinker Mom. I was trying to help them. I'm trying to do you a favor. Your family went to P.F. Chang's and ordered apps and entrees. Your mother and you got apps, but your father's didn't show up. Your father was like, what is this waiter doing? And the guy came by and said, sorry for the delay. They need to make a fresh order. And your father had the face stuck between I'm annoyed and also, oh, that's good to know. And when it came, it was steaming hot and he enjoyed it. Yes. Feedback is helpful. Hey, I'm really sorry, guys. There was an issue with our printer. Your ticket didn't go through. So here, your appetizers are going to be right out. But here's the bread basket we normally charge like almost $10 for with freshly baked bread and house-made butter. It's on us. Please enjoy. If you want a refill, I'm happy to bring it to you. And we're also going to buy your first round of drinks. We're so sorry. We're so sorry. We know you have a show to get to. We're working on it. It's coming out as fast as possible. So again, please enjoy all of this on the house. But I'm explaining that we had a printer error. I'm explaining that I forgot to send your order. I was honest and I would tell people what was going on. And they'd be like, thank you so much for just telling us and not leaving us sitting here wondering what the heck was going on. And I'm like, why would I do that? Then you get angry and you're anxious. Like, it makes no sense whatsoever. Tell people. Just tell them what's happening. Now, it was hard when people would refuse to accept my explanation. But I'd be like, well, I did what I could do. I did what I could do. You know? Your Amare, I probably didn't say that right. Tribal gathering place would cater for 2 to 3 messes of over 200 people. You'd call in all family, kids, etc. to wait on people. Super crazy, super busy, super fun. When a restaurant is super busy, it can be awesome. I don't mean to paint a picture of restaurants being busy as always a disaster or anything either. Honestly, it can be like a blast. And I did way better when it was busy than I did when it was slow. If it was slow, I was in trouble. I was going to get distracted. I was going to be talking to a table for too long and not see that I had gotten a new table. I was going to miss the fact that there was food ready in the window that I could be helping run out to someone else's table. I was going to forget about the coffee that I made and press the button again. And then there's coffee all over the floor. And I've wasted a whole huge canister of coffee and coffee beans. You know, I was going to go, oh, I have time to do my silverware and napkins later. I'll just wait, and then get slammed at the end of the shift with 6 tables, 10 minutes before close. Like, being busy was good, but not when you're not prepared and you don't have appropriate staff. Even then, you just got to roll with it. It wasn't easy a lot of the time. But there was something kind of fun about getting your butt kicked. You know, your adrenaline is going, and I do miss certain aspect of restaurant work, but I just know that I would be physically just wrecked now. I don't have the same level of physical or mental energy, frankly. I don't know if I would have a lot left in me for streaming if I was working full-time in restaurants still. You had to shut your doors 30 minutes before closing because people would want to come in 5 minutes before closing and shop for 2 hours. Like, go home, bro. I look right at grocery store employees when I come through their doors 10 minutes before close, and I go, I know exactly what I want, and I know where it is. And they go, I'm like, yes, it's okay. Please do not panic. I am not here to imprison you for the next 45 minutes. Yay! Lemming, I need to get more of those rubber chickens mailed out to people. Yay! Lemming, I'm so happy it made it there safely. That actually didn't take that long. I'm glad. Thank you for helping with the shipping, Lemming. You're awesome. I appreciate you. Last Tuesday night was a crap show. You really shouldn't have been open with the conditions of the roads. You made good money. Well, yeah, people will take pity on you, but do you want pity tips? I mean, yes, but no. Yes, please pay me. But boy, howdy, would I love it if you paid me and I felt good about the job that I did. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you, I was pregnant 3 times while waiting tables, and you would think, right? You would think pregnant server equals more money. Not necessarily. Some people, yes. Holy cow, look at you go. You're amazing. You're like the best server we've ever had, and you're like practically ready to pop. Woo! And you're like, thank you, you get it. And then there would be other people who would be like, should you be on your feet all the time like this? And then leave you a crappy tip. I'd be like, oh, thank you. Wow. Thank you so much. Yes, that's very helpful. Right. You know, humans. But I did have more people, I feel like, that were the right kind of customers in a situation like that than wrong. I did have people who would touch me without permission while I was pregnant. I'd be like, really? Hi, you shouldn't touch me regardless. I'm not, you know, averse to being touched as much as a lot of other folks are, but I don't need to be touched by a stranger when I'm working. Local grocery stores had a security guard who would close the place like 15 minutes before close, and people would argue with them. It's like we have lives and we want to get out of here. And if you come in right before we close and you hang out forever, it's hard. With restaurants, I think it's a little bit different. And when they close is basically you should close at the time that you're last willing to accept a new table. But coming in 1 minute before the place closes when it's empty is just, it's kind of clueless. And it's hard because it's money, but it's often not worth it. Like, especially if it's 2 people and they want late night happy hour and, you know, then they're going to hang out for like 2 hours. And you've got a whole kitchen's worth of people waiting to find out if they're going to order anything else. So what we would do in order to keep that from, so that our kitchen staff could close the restaurant down, we would tell people, we can seat you, but you're going to have a limited window of time to order, and then we're going to be done taking orders. So as long as you're okay with that, again, communication. We'd be like, we're happy to seat you, but we're closing. So you need to make up your mind, you know, very politely, hurry up, hurry the clock up, and then we're happy to serve you. But that's it though. Like, we're going to come by and go, anything else from the kitchen? And then we're done and we're shutting it down and you can't keep making requests. So like, that's the way to approach it, honestly. But some places I worked at, if they sat people, they'd be like, nope, everyone's here. Nobody in the kitchen's going anywhere. If we seat them, we're going to wait until they are totally done, until the check is on the table before anybody can close anything down. And I was like, that's overkill. It doesn't make sense. Closing is really hard because there's the idea and understanding that closing time is when they are no longer accepting people, not when the employees are supposed to be walking out the doors. Right. It works different ways in different places, which makes it even more confusing. Yeah, no 2 restaurants are going to have the exact same policies about all this stuff unless they're corporate. And even then, I worked for a corporate hotel restaurant. That was like its own independent place, and then it became part of one corporation, and then that corporation was bought out by yet another corporation. And so we were like very different from any of the other properties. And of course, when the new corporation came in, they assured all of us at this landmark restaurant, like been around since the 1910s or something like that in Portland. It's not there anymore. It was called the Heathman. they assured us that they were not going to force us to become yet another, like, you know, corporatized, whatever. Spoiler alert, they totally did. But you know what? If they hadn't done that and I hadn't left there, I would have worked every single Mother's Day, Christmas, New Year's Eve, Valentine's Day, Easter, all the brunch and all the tea and all that stuff, because we had high tea service and we had room service and we had a bar, and they needed cocktail servers, and they need people for banquets, and they need this and they need that and they need this and they need that, and it's all hands on deck, and it was very demanding. And yes, I made decent money, but I had like no life outside of that place a lot of the time. And I had young children, and I was able to go and work somewhere where if I needed time off, my coworkers were like, what can we do to help you and get you that time off? At the hotel restaurant, there was no asking for time off during the holidays, period. End of story. Nobody gets time off. You get time off, but it's not up to you. They write the schedule and you show up for it. So, you know, I don't mean to ruin all of the romance and mystery of restaurants for people. I think that it's important, though, that you understand this stuff so that, like Ian said, you can be the guest who gets it, and not in an over-the-top way. We don't need you to come in and be like, oh, my God, I totally you know, like, just behave the way that you feel you should to show them appreciation. If there's tipping where you live, tip them appropriately. Think about how your requests could be made in a way that's respectful and gets you what you want, but doesn't treat them like garbage. You know, and I assume everyone in here, for the most part, since you're all so wonderful, would already know a lot of this, or you would just behave that way to begin with. But sometimes it's just ignorance and it's not intentional. And again, like I said, if you choose the restaurant industry life, you accept that. You go, you know what? A lot of people just don't get it. And you just have to move on and let it roll off of you. Just like streaming, there's going to be bad actors, intentional or otherwise. And you kind of just have to let it roll off you. But like, it's so much more enjoyable for everyone involved when people take the time to understand, you know, to treat it as a little bit more symbiotic relationship rather than I come in, I make demands, and you fulfill them. Like, you'll get what you want, and you'll get it a lot better, and it'll be such a great experience if you treat people like they're human. You know? Imagine knowing that you could walk into a restaurant and almost always have the best experience. Why wouldn't you want that? Thank you. You know? It works better for everyone when you're considerate and kind like that, honestly. But, you know, it's hard. It's hard to express that to some people because they've been taught the squeaky wheel gets the grease. You can speak up for yourself. You can express your frustration, your disappointment, that you need something they're not providing. But the best thing you can do, too, is ask questions up front. Call the restaurant. Find out what their deal is before you go in there if you've never been there before. The customer is not always right. And that was the reason why I loved that last job, Dawn, because I could tell them, hey, you know what? We really want you to be happy. And unfortunately, that's a request that our kitchen is not willing to fulfill because it will make the dish not good. Your only request, give me water. All the water. More water, please. All the water. Unless you want some person who appears to be choking in the corner of your restaurant, water. I will down the tiny glass of water. Big glass, lots of water. I'll give you a 25 to 50% tip depending on how long you're there. And when you say that up front and go, hey, I'm just going to warn you, I drink a lot of water. Is there any way I could have a carafe of water? Can I have a bigger glass than this? Is that okay? And we'll go, heck yeah, it is. I don't want to come fill your glass 25 times, 30 times. I'll bring you a pint glass. Yep. One way around it too, Mars, is Like I said, ask for a carafe or a pitcher if they have them. My husband's done that. He's been like, hey, can I save you some trouble? My husband's also a big water drinker. Can I save you some trouble? And they're like, okay. And he's like, if you have a pitcher that you can spare and just fill it with ice water, I will be so much less trouble for you. And they're like, you got it. You know, like it's how you ask too for things a lot of the time. You hate when customers are like, but the customer's always right. And like, you don't even know what you're talking about. Yeah. There is this idea of what is service, right? When we call ourselves service industry, when you're serving someone. And I think that there are personalities that are better suited to, you know what? I don't take this personally. They want this thing. It's going to make them happy. I'll do what I can to make it happen for them. But I think there's a balance, which was definitely my priority. I wanted people to be happy. But I would come to them and I would say, my first priority is you being happy with your experience in here. However, your request will negatively impact everyone's experience in here. We can't accommodate it, not because we don't want to, but because it doesn't make sense. And I'm sorry to have to tell you no. Here's the alternative, and I would always try to offer an alternative to whatever it was they were asking for. You want tomatoes on your burger. We don't just have a box of tomatoes in the walk-in. We have heirloom tomatoes that are earmarked for a specific dish. If you'd like to order that dish, you'll get some really beautiful tomatoes on your table. Plus, you'll get some really good house-made mozzarella and some really good local fresh basil and all that stuff. I can even have them put all of the stuff you would enjoy on the salad off to the side, like the dressing, the balsamic, and the olive oil. I can have them put all that to the side. The rest of the people at the table can have a beautiful shared salad dish on the table, and you can take the tomatoes you want for your burger. And they'd be like, well, you're just trying to sell me something else. And I'd be like, you're actually absolutely right. And it's because this is an expensive ingredient and we can't part with it unless it's for that dish. Does that make sense? We have a very limited quantity of it and it's an expensive ingredient. Well, can't you just add a couple slices to my burger? I mean, yeah, you really want to pay like the cost of that salad for your few slices of tomato for your burger, but chef's gonna ask me to charge you for the entire salad because, you know, we buy these in certain quantities with a purpose. You know, it's like, especially some things where dividing up the dish would mean that we can't sell another one of it and we only have 10 of them to sell for the night. No, you can't have the side dish for the special that we only have 10 of tonight as just a side because they made enough of it. You know, they don't make a ton extra just to have it sitting around because it could be a waste of product. And margins are already razor thin in restaurants a lot of the time, even the nice ones, the fancy ones where everything costs a lot of money, maybe especially so in those places. They're not ordering stuff off of Cisco truck. Your favorite moment, you went to a Chinese restaurant, they gave you this tiny glass, turned around, grabbed the menu, turned back to you. The glass was empty. They refilled it, put the pitcher down, came back to take the order, and the glass was empty. This happened once more. They came back with the pitcher of water and put it on your table without comment. The tip was more than the bill, all the water. Well, right. They paid attention to what was going on and they didn't force you. That is a very important, a very valuable skill in restaurant work is being able to read people and then anticipate their needs and adjust the service accordingly without them having to ask or with minimal, communication necessary on their part. It's still a good idea to communicate your needs, but truly gifted service people can, or experience, maybe it's just practice. For me, it had to be practice. I didn't pick up on that stuff instantly as a server. But over time, I noticed enough patterns. Because while I may not be good sometimes at picking up on those things initially on my own, I do recognize patterns fairly well. And I finally, after a while, realized, oh, it makes way more sense, like, to ask people, have you ever had a pork chop medium? I got in trouble for this at one place. Have you ever had a pork chop cooked medium? A look of surprise on the customer's face. What do you mean? Oh, it's actually only recommended now by like government agencies to cook pork to like 145. So you could have your pork chop medium and it'll be really juicy and delicious and it's totally safe. And they'd be like, and I'd be like, you know what? Would you like it cooked a little more than that? Would that make it a more enjoyable experience for you? And they'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, okay, how about medium well? They'd be like, let's try that. I got in trouble for that at one place. Don't tell them that. Don't say any of that stuff. Just order the dish. Chef will prepare it the way that it should be prepared. And I was like, and then they'll be unhappy. Again, communication. Because a lot of people did not understand that that was how chef was going to prepare it. I'm like, look, I can look at these people. I talked to them already. They're here for their granddaughter's graduation from college. They live in rural Minnesota. They're not used to pork that's undercooked. They're not going to like this. And if I serve it to them that way, they're going to be unhappy. Like, why don't you just let me do my job? And help them. I'm there to help them. I'm the liaison. You don't trust me, huh? You don't think I'm saying it in a way that paints a good picture of what we do here? Then maybe I shouldn't work here. Yeah, well, it's not omit information until, okay, I see what you're saying. Once they tell me not to say that stuff to people, but like, why wait until the person asks you or gets the dish and goes, what's this? That's how you get a dish sent back 10 times and you're wasting product and time. Like, let me tell them about it before so we can save everybody the time and the worry and the anxiety, you know? So, like, I wasn't a bad server at all. I think I was a good server, but more because I truly cared about people's experience than anything else. I was not the most efficient server ever. I was not the best salesperson ever by any means. I was just honest and friendly. Maybe too friendly for some people. I told you guys before, I had customers who would be like, you need a podcast. I'd be like, oh, so politely shut up and put in our order. Sorry. And they would laugh. And it'd be like a self-deprecation, you know? It actually goes a long way with a lot of tables. I'd be like, I'm sorry. I need to shut up and let you enjoy your date. And they'd giggle and I'd be like, walking away going, but they're going, she's right. She needs to shut up and let us enjoy our date. Self-awareness is very important when you work in customer service. You have to know how you appear to people. Hi, One Love. It was so much fun to play Fortnite with you yesterday. It's born. I can tell you all about it. I mean, look at this thing. Wanna try it without anything. How you doing? The way you are hearing, please ask for this is very valuable because a lot of times you just respond to servers' questions. Can I get some more water? Here's my glass to top it off since you're here. And it always feels like, wait, I can give more details and it doesn't feel like micromanaging. Again, tone is important. So if the server walks up to your table and says hi and asks if they can get you anything, you could say, like, and you know what else you want to drink, right? This is maybe how I might approach it, RC. I would say, yeah, you know what? I would love an Arnold Palmer. But also, I'm just letting you know up front, I drink so much water. I'm one of those people. Can you bring me a pitcher of water? Is that possible? They're going to know then, and they're going to keep an eye on you instead of, you know, like, I think you can do it in a way that's maybe even kind of humorous and breaks the ice with the person a little bit. Like, hey, I'm one of those people. I drink a lot of water. I promise you. I will cause you no other trouble. You know what I mean? Like, They'll know. I think people know. Sir, I usually knew when somebody was really just trying to give me a heads up. I would even have people who would pull me aside and would be like, hey, my uncle's a real big pain. I'm sorry. My dad used to do this. Because my grandparents were terrible restaurant patrons. Bless them. May they both rest in peace. I love them. They were awful. And my dad was also like a lifelong server and bartender. So he'd go up to the server and he'd have like, you know, some denomination of money in his palm. And he'd go to shake their hand. Like, got like a 20 in his palm. He'd be like, hey, how's it going? What's your name? Michael. Nice to meet you. I'm Bruce. My parents are a really big pain in the butt. I'm sorry. There's free trouble up front. You'd have to whisper it. You'd be like, hey, come here. I gotta tell you something. I'm really sorry about my folks. Thank you for putting up with us then. Because my grandpa would get really mad if my dad tried to tip on top of whatever he tipped, and he was a terrible tipper. They were like extremely demanding, awful tippers. And they lived through the Depression. There was this part of them, I think, that was like, what do you mean I have to pay the server? You know, like they didn't understand. So my dad would do the right thing, and he would bribe them up front and be nice to them and explain and let them know. Your mother had to pay the tip to the server once because your dad didn't like the service that the rest of you thought was good. I've had arguments occasionally with people where they didn't want to tip the server well because the food wasn't right. And I'd be like, they came back. They checked on us. You told them everything was fine. No. You do not punish them because you were unwilling to speak up and say there was something wrong. They did their job. You should have said something. You should have asked for a replacement. You should have told them what was wrong with it. Absolutely do not punish the server who's doing their job. Because part of their job is to come back and ask you, right? How is everything? The food being bad is not the server's fault. And again, if it's really bad, then you need to say something and tell them. Maybe they don't know. Maybe there was a mix-up in the kitchen and something that's not supposed to be in there is in there. Or they have an issue with how they're storing something. And you're suffering, and someone else is also going to suffer because you didn't speak up and tell them something was wrong. They're human and they make mistakes. You were a server for the longest time back in your day. Now you bartend a few nights a week, but at a movie theater, so it's not really having to deal with the drunks, but still fun and free movies. Ooh, you have to tell me more about that bubbly water thingy. That's like how I that's the only way I can bring myself to drink enough water is the bubbly water. And I used to have a Ninja coffee machine, so it's probably the same manufacturer, same company. Oh my god, I can't believe I can believe it that I've been carrying these little bits of yarn around with me, that I moved them who knows how many times. They're just... What am I going to use this much wool yarn for? What am I going to use this for? Honestly, I could use it to stuff something as long as the yarn on the outside was dark enough. Oh no, not me fishing all of this out of the trash now because I could use it for stuffing. Here, you know what? Right inside the Gengar leg you go. That's that much less polyfill I will have to buy for this project. Because I'm probably going to have to buy more. Actually, I should keep the black worsted weight out because that's good for sewing on details and pink for the cheeks. This is like spendy Hobie yarn. But the rest of it can just go right in here. Like, why not? You got a $2 tip because the kitchen took too long on their order and they didn't like what the manager did for them. Yeah, SodaStream is like that. Bubble water. And this device saves you so much money from buying the LaCroix. Or even the store brand. It can be spendy. There, no one will ever know. How will they know? Oh, they're gonna know. Because there's video evidence of me doing it. See? Ha 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 ha! There's a bunch of yarn bits inside of this. That's great. It's not garbage now. I don't have to feel bad anymore about throwing it away. There are flavors you can buy and settings for the flavor amount and bubble amount. Ooh. Your first job, your coworkers and you went to a local restaurant. Final bill for the 6 of you was like $150. You asked if they could split the check 6 ways. They said they couldn't. So one, as is classic now, became the credit card person and you would pay them. You'd get back to the office and you got back to the office and went, hey, what did you tip them? Huh? Tip. What did you tip them? Oh, no. Oh, no. I mean, one thing you could do, and I've had people do this for me before, RC, since you bring that up. Hey, we realized we didn't leave a tip. How can we... They should have been able to figure out who your server was. Like maybe even like if you had like the receipt, it should have their name on it maybe. But at any rate, if you can figure out who it was, I've had people go out of their way to do something like, can you just, we would charge $1 to their credit card so they could leave a tip. Like, can you just do a tip, only a tip? Unfortunately, you have to have some kind of sale usually to do a tip. So we would run their card for like $1 and then they would just put a tip on that $1 charge, like miscellaneous $1 charge. And then, I mean, I've had people do that. I've had people even send money in an envelope with my name on it to the restaurant, which is ridiculously kind. And I mean, if you get the same server, you could always leave them extra and be like, hey, this is to make up for last time. But, you know, hey, I mean, we also, again, it's disappointing if that happens, especially if it's lunch. $150 could be a third of that person's sales for the day. Plus, you know, that means they can't turn those tables a couple of times with some two tops. But, oh, it's you in the sassiest manner. It's hard. Really, like, professionally speaking, if you're like a career server, you're never supposed to indicate that you're upset with how someone tipped you previously. And they may not have actually verbalized it, but yeah. It's hard. It's hard. We're human, you know? And especially if you did a lot for a table, like if you bent over backwards for them and then they end up really messing up your day. People would always be impressed that I remembered them after, you know, from one previous visit. And they'd be like, oh, hopefully it's not something bad that we did. And I'd be like, if it was, I wouldn't have admitted that I recognized you. I would have pretended like I didn't know who you were. Yep. In the nicest way possible. We have an ad break coming in a minute here, and I need the restroom, so I'm going to take a quick actual BRB. Thank you for staying through ads. I appreciate you guys. I'll be back after this.
I'm a nasty woman. I'm a nasty woman. I'm a nasty woman. Such a nasty woman.
Thank you for the sub! Welcome to the Procrastination Station, helping you not get your ish done. Since 1979.
to 9.5 Kitchen, where we're going to be making the most basic ass Midwestern chili you've ever seen. Someone's gonna leave some really big balls on my front porch, and I don't want anyone running away with those balls. They're my balls. Hands off. Hands off my balls. And I would be here, left to my own devices. Yes, I do know that you want me to play scrims with you, but I don't think I'm good enough for that. People up here?
If I
I beat you in boss fight?
Wait. Oh my gosh. Okay. I feel like if I decide to take a break, that's when people raid. Thank you, Crochet! Thank you so much. I appreciate the heck out of you. What's going on, everybody? I hope you had a great stream, Crochet. Thanks, Grams. Thank you so much. At least it was only 5 minutes ago, not like 35 minutes ago. I appreciate it. I hope you had a fun stream. If you're still here, let me know what you were working on. Welcome in, readers. Hello, everybody. Thank you for the first time reader chats. No doubt Big Trout, and they can see me. And who else we got in here? You're awesome, Grams. Thank you so much. Mickey, I see you on that raid. We did it again. I'll BRB myself. I see Crochet's message. Thank you, Crochet. Take your time if you can hear me. You're free from work to craft. Excellent. I know. As I was going upstairs, I was like, we're probably going to get a raid right now. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Welcome in. If you've never been here before, I'm 9.5, and I'm called that because I'm missing half a finger on my right hand. Hi, 4.5. And we are super happy to have you. We have a read video for you. Very fun. I consider this required viewing if you're going to stick around. You know, before you hit the follow button, you might want to think about it. You might want to watch this first and let it sink in. We really are that fond of fart noises and rubber chickens around here. I'm freaking out right now. I'm fangirling. You have no clothes on. No. Get supported, nerd. No flipping way. You didn't do it. Thank you for the dollar bills for the kiddos. Thank you so much, everybody. Ah! We talked about this. I mean, you can cook steak in a dryer, but do you want to? And when the fat renders off of the steak, does it create a fire hazard? I'm sorry, I'm a mother. I can't help but think about these things immediately. So this is a game to you guys, huh? What? She do it so hard! There's people out here with reputations at stake. There you have it. we're happy you're here. And it makes me very happy that Grams would choose us for a read target. So I like to crochet, make, cute stuff like this. Sometimes we make wearables. We do a lot of stuff for charity. I've been streaming for 5 years. 5+ years now. And we are actually coming up on our birthday partnerversary celebration week starting on Monday. So my birthday is the 29th. We got partnered last year on February 2nd. So we're going to be celebrating both of those things from the 29th through the 4th. And on the 3rd, I think we've solidified a time at 11 a.m. Or was it 10 a.m.? See, I should double check before I say this out loud. Random DMs on Discord, hey, how are you doing? And the only server you share in common with them is there's one server you share in common with them. It's just, please be cautious. Please be cautious. And when random people who you don't know start messaging you, just think about it. It's generally not. Here's another one. Message requests and random friend requests, and you share one server, and especially if it's a really big server, a big public community server. No, stop. Oh, and that's often a scam, Mickey. They are not artists. They come in with this whole story about how they need commissions to pay, a medical bill or something like that. And it's totally, I'm not saying that this never actually happens, but I'm saying people have done that and it turns out it's a scam. Or I'm going to get kicked out of my house. I need money for rent. Or my pet, I have a big vet bill. So they're not only preying on people who are often generous with other artists because they want to see them succeed, but they are making up a story about needing money for some kind of an emergency. Yep. So please, please, please be very careful. Do not. I just ignore those friend requests and messages. I don't even respond. Oh, I mean, it's just an acronym. Mickey, you always say get out and often post for everyone to let you know so you can kick people. We try not to use profanity in here, so nothing personal. I didn't block because of any reason other than consistency with our rules. Absolutely. What Donna said. A long list of approved charities they can approach worldwide for immediate assistance. It's one thing. You're good, Mickey. It's one thing for somebody to say, already be an established community member and say hey, I'm having a sale in my shop. And if you purchase stuff like this individual, that's our friend Flava's Etsy shop, and Flava has a lot of medical bills right now. There are times when there's a legitimate situation like that going on. But if someone just randomly shows up in a Discord server and starts talking about that immediately, red flag. You've gotten emails from folks claiming to be part of a school community, but the email is not a business email from the school. Yep. Yeah, exactly. That's the difference, Mickey, for sure. And, you know, I've even had people who I know but aren't part of my server ask me to post something for them in my server. And like, you know, it's like, well, you're either so involved in our community that you'd already be in the server and you would just post in the server. Think before you click. Exactly. Exactly, Grams. How was your stream? I hope you went and took care of yourself. If, you know, if you can't stay long, I totally understand that. With all of our reading parties, I try to make sure I'm letting you know that if you need to go, I totally get it. But I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for the raid. You have an Instagram, right, Grams? If you want to, you can either whisper it to me, or we can give you a permit if you want to post the link yourself for like your Instagram or anything like that. Hi, DJ. We were telling everybody about you and Blapple both being nominated. How does it feel? How does it feel, DJ? To have to, no. I was explaining that the great thing about this is they can vote for both of you. Even through, I believe, at least unless they've changed anything, we can vote for both of you all the way through, which is amazing. Thank you, Rackwack, for shouting out DJ, who has been nominated for Charity Streamer of the Year for the Game Hers Awards. You got 2 butterflies done and worked on a blanket. That's awesome. How do you do that? How do you get stuff done, Grams? I've been cleaning and organizing. I've been getting some stuff done. Today is my first day without the kids in the house since like last Thursday. Not last Thursday. The Thursday before last, because they were out of school for an entire week due to the weather. It was just bonkers. Like, don't ask me how I got through it. It really wasn't that bad. We had some fun, but it was hard at times. I'm like, so not only are you not going to school, but it's really crummy outside and very cold. So I could kick them out there into the snow when it first fell, you know, for a little while and go play in the snow and go take the doggies out in the snow. And they had fun out there, but we don't have like a bunch of snow gear and stuff like that. You know what I mean? We don't have my kids don't have like snowsuits and stuff. Anyways, I'm excited for both of you. I think you both deserve it. It'd be awesome for both of you to be able to win it. I mean, I did tie with Shin Wang for creative streamer last year, which they eliminated that category. I'm not sure why. This Thursday, your foster dog leaves for his forever home, and you will miss him. But you're so excited to not hear him whining and crying all the time for attention. Again, bless you. First of all, Mickey, for doing that. Because it's hard. Like, what if you do really get attached to the animal? But, like, you know, you can't keep every single one, right? Right? I got you, Grams. There's Graham's Instagram if you want to throw a follow. Thank you. Bless the Fosters. You don't think you could do it. Yeah, it is. It's not easy, but it'll be your third dog rehomed since you moved to Texas. Wow, awesome, Mickey. There's a person who came into my YouTube feed who's out of Fort Worth who does something where he's like sitting with dogs. And oh man, it was heartbreaking how emaciated this dog was in the video that I saw him in. But already been adopted. So, you know, another example of somebody using their platform to do good things for people or animals. I'm all for it. Do you do it through like a rescue organization? That's how we ended up with our second dog that we got after the first puppy. We got another puppy. I got suckered into getting another puppy. And he is the cutest thing. He's such a sweetie. I'm glad we did it, but I'm like, okay, now really, for real, no more animals. No more. Not right now. Oh, really, A-list? Yeah, I don't even know how that one's doing on Instagram. Oftentimes, I just post something and sort of like just leave it there. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. I love that. Kim posted a really awesome reel. Our friend Kim for the day. Yeah, it seems like these platforms like it when you know, take somebody's video and react to it or something. Or like remix it and all that junk. And I'm like, well, that's great. And I don't mind doing that from time to time, but that isn't how I want to gain followers and engagement. You know what I mean? Your hobby. Okay, but what about 2 puppies? Yes, I know. Jenna, he bamboozled me. What about a nice goldfish? Yeah. Actually, Ramona does want a fish because she had her very first sleepover, DJ, and she went over to a house where they have fish. And so now she's like, oh, wanting a fish. And I'm like, well, that's doable maybe. We'd have to make sure Aries can't get in there. You've only been here for about 1.5 years, and you did one through a rescue. The first one was found on the streets, and you just found a home for her super fast. The second was through the shelter, but they don't really care who adopts. So the third you officially adopted, so you can be picky about who gets him. Ah. I'm doing well, Alice. How are you? No more puppies for you after Fred. So what happened, Grams, is we lost our sweet boy pup. You know, he was older and he became ill, and we tried a bunch of different things and it didn't seem like anything was working. And they suspect it was cancer. I wouldn't be at all surprised. And that unfortunately there just wasn't really a whole lot we could do about it. So we had to say goodbye to him, and that was very sad. But, you know, we found this rescue, and the woman who runs it is awesome. She's amazing. And it's a Jack Russell rescue. And I never would have thought I'd be a little dog person. I love cats and I love smaller animals. And it's not that I don't love little dogs. You know, they just can be a bit much sometimes, personality-wise. But so can the big dogs. And our big dogs are always getting out. And Maggie's still a Houdini, even though she's 10 years old. Oh, thank you, Jazzy. I appreciate that. I know, One Love. And we're converts. We absolutely love these little guys. And the lady, like I said, who runs the rescue is just awesome. She's very no nonsense, but she's very compassionate. And so this other dog comes up for adoption, and he has this like kind of slightly crooked little muzzle and an underbite, and he's just like this goofy looking little guy. And my husband showed me the picture once, and I was like, I don't know. I was like, I don't know about another animal. He's adorable, but I don't know about another animal. And he was like, come on, Heracles needs a playmate. And I mean, he wasn't wrong, because Maggie's old. She's sweet, but she's old. And she just like, she doesn't even get mad at Heracles. Heracles is like this. Boing, boing, boing. Want to play? Boing, 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 boing. Like right in front of her. Like boing, 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 boing. And Maggie is like, does anybody hear anything? Like she just doesn't. Is it garbage that she can get into? Then you've got her attention. Otherwise, she's just like, huh? I just want to sleep all day. So he ended up just kind of being obnoxious to like everyone. To the kids, to Maggie. She was even kind of getting a little bit fed up with him occasionally and kind of like barking at him and stuff. We got this other puppy, and he's been so much better. Like a world of difference. He has someone to wrestle with. Hephaestus loves wrestling with him and like playing, and they run up and down in the yard, and they're just the best of pals. Completely unfazed, RC. She doesn't want anything to do with him. In fact, now she's more interested in both of them. It's interesting how getting another puppy kind of made her go, oh, okay, well now there's two of them. I guess maybe they're a thing. Your Willow's already almost 15, and he's nearing the end. You'll be done after him. He's your baby. Oh, one love. It's hard. And sometimes we just need time. My husband's not that person. When his dog that he had when we got together passed, it was maybe, I think, like 3 months max. Not even. It was a couple of months, maybe a month or two before we had a new puppy. And it's not because he gets over it fast or anything like that. It's more like he's just an animal lover, and he doesn't like not having a dog. And I'm glad we have pets. I really am. I love them. Once Solo leaves you on another little Yorkie mix. These guys are both, Heracles is definitely a good percentage, Jack Russell. Like you look at him and he looks like Wishbone. He's a little pretty typical looking Jack Russell. The other one is definitely a mix. Hephaestus is definitely a mix. He's smaller, he has longer fur, his face and head shape are different. But he has the markings, and he has a lot of the, like, energy and all that other stuff. Oh, it sure does, Vicky. They sure do. And in fact, I need to end because I need to take them outside and let them have some time out in the yard and get ready to leave and go do a part-time job. And I don't know if I'll be back this evening, possible. But because I have other obligations today, I need to get out of here. So a streamer from years ago got a dog after saying no. After bringing their 3-year-old to see the dogs at an adoption event, and the 3-year-old walked up to one of them and simply went, my dog now? And their heart melted. Oh. Yeah. Oh, thank you for being here. I appreciate the heck out of you guys. Thanks for the support for the channel. Thank you for the raids. We had raids today from... I saw one of you update this. I swear I saw one of you update this. I saw, man, I don't know. I don't remember how you did it, but. Pix updated it last night. No, Karen did it for Brit, I thought. Doesn't matter who did it. Maybe the formula might have been slightly off. You never know. But I thought I saw you do it. The bot could be just not cooperating. It was too early. You're good. Oh, see, there it said it did it. Here. Twitch has been acting real weird today too, Rackwack. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The intent was there. It's all good. Thank you so much. No, you're fine. You missed an M in command. I see. No biggie. Thank you very much to Britt and Grams for the raids. Thank you guys for the hype train and the resubs and for the good conversation and for hanging out and helping keep me company while I work on my office and try and get some things organized and put away and get rid of some stuff. I'm going to be 100% honest. I will try to update my throne a little bit because I know some of you really love to purchase gifts. And I appreciate that deeply. I really do. But I'm going to be 100% honest. I may just end up setting like a tip goal or something like that for birthday week. At the risk of sounding, it's just so much more helpful for me right now to make sure our bills are being covered and that I can save money for a separate space to do this from. That's really the number one priority for me, is for this to be sustainable, for me not to have to seek a restaurant job. I understand people love doing gift giving. I have literally no space for a lot of it. I just, I understand completely. People love to buy things for each other. Right now, the kind of stuff I would be putting on my wish list is stuff to try to organize the stuff I already have. You guys are so kind. You're so generous. I appreciate everything. All of it. I might put some coffee gift cards on there. You can always buy me coffee. Just that treat stream or whatever it's called is not a thing here because of where I live. And also I've heard people have had problems with those things before. Coffee is always a nice gift. It's true. I have turned off raids, by the way, mods, just so you know. I get it, completely get it. And there is equipment that I could upgrade, but I don't need to. Like, everything I have is working great. Maybe, I think I have some lighting that would be fun to be able to control through my Stream Deck. And even that is not high priority because, we have our family situation. Like, we really need to be able to give our boys separate spaces. Our middle child is constantly annoyed with our eldest. This is my responsibility to figure this out. But if you're looking for ways to help me, oh, Crochet, you're so kind. I really appreciate you. If you're looking for ways to help with the content creation, with the channel and all that stuff, being here is the first thing. You are already doing it if you're in here. And then if you want to go above and beyond and you have the means, subscribing here is one way you can do that, or cheering bits like Crochet just did. Tipping means I keep more of the funds. It's just simple math. So never any pressure to do anything. But if I seem not like hesitant about Throne, or like I'm being stubborn and not putting stuff on there, I'm not being coy. It's because I literally don't have anywhere to put a lot of this stuff. So I'm already very much pressured about getting my area cleaned up down here so it's not a fire hazard. Like, it's literally gotten to that point. Like an episode of Hoarders. You guys can't see it. It's over there. So I appreciate the thought and I love it, but I gotta make sure I'm prioritizing correctly. You know what I'm saying? And there's stuff you guys have gotten me that I haven't even used. That's not okay. I need to use the things that you're getting me. Just continuing to put more objects into that list. Pixar, it didn't happen? No. And you can't come in here at the end and say that. With your VIP diamond. Oh, man. He's going to go hard for this because he knows I'm raiding. He knows I'm raiding out, right? He knows I'm about to raid out. So he's going to go hard here and try and get somebody to time him out in the few minutes we have left here. Don't give him the satisfaction, mod. Don't give him the satisfaction. Hi, Miro. I hope you had a good day at work. I hope you had a good day at work. How was your day? We actually have to get going because I got to get ready and have enough time to do some things before I have to leave. let's see. Oh, wow. I can't tell exactly what's going on. It says Katie Bentz was doing a cooking stream, but I see her in her like stream room. I thought that could be kind of fun, to hang out while she's doing a cooking stream. Oh, I know where I want to take you. I know where I want to take you. Oh, no, you did. You timed him out. Karen is not afraid. Look at Robot Wizard. Look at Robot Wizard in the channel. Time out, time out, time out, time out. How many times is that now? How many times is that, Miro? Hi, Kim. Your reel is so amazing. I'm so glad you shared it. I saw what you wrote in the description. You're adorable. More of that, please. You do it. 2.5 times. So I hung out the other day with this streamer and like absolutely just the sweetest person. So kind. And also a fellow Women's Guild member who does cosplays and plays a lot of video games. Hi, I'm Sherry, a retro variety streamer. Welcome to my cozy chaotic streams. I focus on first playthroughs of retro games. I also dabble in modern games from time to time and is actually currently playing Pal World, which is like all the rage right now. But I am taking you there first and foremost because I came in there to say hello and Sherry was so kind to me. And when I said, you know, I'm a fellow guildie, was like all super excited to have me in there and all kinds of love and support, but also just a genuinely kind and welcoming personality and very kind community. I just get a really good vibe from Sherry Snacks. So if you would come with me, please, if you would do me the honor of coming with me on the raid and getting to know Sherry and checking out her content, even if you also need to get going to do other things with your day or to go to bed or any of that, dropping a follow and, you know, putting our raid call in the chat and all that stuff. Very important to do that, to show support to our fellow Women's Guild members, as well as, like I said, people who create a nice, wholesome, welcoming, and kind environment. You know, I think where you take your viewers is completely up to you. But it is a choice that you're making, and you should make with what will work best for your community in mind. And so, like, even though this is a gaming channel, I really love hanging out in there. And we were talking about how I've never really played a lot of the types of games that Sherry plays, that they were giving me recommendations. And just, like I said, everyone was so nice and so kind in there. So please come with us. It makes me happy to support other people who are working to make this platform better, and to just be better and be kind and treat people well and be genuinely themselves, not doing it in like a fake over the top, you know, or like a weirdly backwards kind of toxic positivity kind of way. I just get the feeling this is really very much how she is. So please do come with us. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget, we're doing the Fortnite tournament with Kim and Shania on the 27th. And encourage us to believe in ourselves. Yes, for sure. And also collaborating for learning Tunisian crochet on the 3rd. And please make sure you take good care of yourselves. Do something nice for yourself between now and the next time I see you, because self-care is extremely important. And you are absolutely worth it. And we love our mods. And you need to stop that, Miro! Oh, Kim, you stop it. No, I am not going to get misty. I've already done that like 3 times today. I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything you do for me. I will see you soon. Maybe tonight, maybe here, maybe on Live Space or YouTube. I'll post to Discord if I go live over there, okay? Thank you so much. Thank you for spending time with me. Bye. I'll see you over there. Bye.